Hopefully, okay.
Yeah, you sound great.
Hello, everyone! Welcome back to Misty Mountain Streaming. I'm the TheDNDWannabe, my name is Rob, and this is Hotel Excelsior in Call of Cthulhu. Let's see. Currently, Katie is
Johnny Lawrence is looking really good.
Unfortunately, Steve is not. Steve is not here.
It's literally just like your boobs.
And I'm trying. Yeah, hang on.
That was the best Johnny Lawrence I've ever seen.
Give me a second. It's because Steve sits so low in his frame. And he's not here.
Sitting on the ground most of the time.
You have her amazing new top.
Poor Katie.
In Johnny Lawrence's square.
And I'm going to have to fix this again.
Get the new face of Misty Mountain right here.
Because it has your camera where it says Ellie Walker.
And it is all scrambled around. Anyway, hi, hello, welcome back. Cthulhu
Mondays,
top
am
is
I
fitting.
right?
Yeah, Existential Nerd already complimenting the Cthulhu. And here he is. Now I'm going to change it back.
We can even see you changing it back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well.
This is behind the scenes action here.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're seeing how the sausage is made.
Yes.
He really needs to get that camera on. That would be good.
Oh, boy.
Well, at least we've just got a good view
there we go.
Ellie's hat now.
Yep.
All right, let me put Steve back where he belongs.
Everything looks great now.
Put me in my place. I deserve it.
Okay. Take 3, everyone. Just kidding. We weren't really live. Let's pretend. Yeah. This stream is brought to you by technical difficulties and a change of location, and we're coming to you, at least on my part, from the Misty Mountain Gaming warehouse. The studio that I've been streaming from since the inception of this channel is no longer where I will be streaming from, so we're trying to get a streaming situation organized here in an hour away from my house. And I've taken pains to try and make things look kind of like they're used to looking. But everything that is my computer has been unplugged, replugged, cables have been switched out. So if anything sounds different or looks different, please let me know so that I can try and fix that as we go forward into tonight's session and into the rest of our streams kind of from here on out. We do have some announcements to take care of for the channel, but first, let's re-meet our wonderful cast of crazy players and their characters. Let's start this time with Jack Kealy and Erik Braa.
Hello, everybody. I'm Erik Braa. I'm a voice actor, voice talent. I don't know what I messed up something there. Director and producer with 3 Pound Magician, as well as I hang out here with the folks at Misty Mountain Streaming because because of Rob and Steve, especially just because they're the guys that got me into this. Of course, Katie and Diggy there are awesome, and I'm very happy to be here playing Jack Kealy. A fixer from L.A. sent in to get a hold of Nina Lockwood, lock her down to a contract, and perhaps take out someone else that wronged us.
Sent to
and
take
that
out...
actually has... Yeah, I took him out. It's done. Now it's try to survive and get the hell out of this place, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I've already made at least one misstep myself. So, yes. This is going to be super fun. And, don't forget, this is 18 and older. Because we say terrible things like fucking A, bro. So yeah.
Ouch.
Yes, but to remind before we go any further, this is an 18+ stream. We are all adults. We are playing an adult game. That is definitely going to contain adult themes. God knows last session sure did. This one's probably not going to get any better. So please use discretion while viewing. Let's hear from Mr. Johnny Lawrence next.
Hey everyone, I am the stream's problem child for the evening, but let's be honest, also most evenings. Steve, I'm the other half of Bardic Twinspiration, the podcast that is kind of on a extended hiatus. I have been on the stream before on a couple of long shots, and I am back as Johnny Lawrence, the definitely not down on his luck actor, who is who just saw a guy get mowed down by a Tommy gun in front of him. If I've got different energy tonight, it is because obviously everyone was waiting on me. So I just literally walked through the door and came on the stream. And apparently I'm fighting strep today, which I've never had before in my life. But
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think this is my first go with it. So I've got a little strep and a lot of caffeine. And I think the caffeine has finally kicked in, but I don't know how long it's going to last. So
Damn it, stop talking.
we'll see how it goes.
Caffeine and strep throat is a bad combination,
Johnny
just
and
so
for me.
you know.
Yeah.
As someone, I get strep throat like most people get fruitcake once a year. So, yeah, I would not recommend caffeine.
Well, I mean, being asleep due to lack of energy from being sick on stream is also generally frowned upon. So.
Fair enough. I noticed, by the way, you have one extra button undone here. Is that a Johnny Lawrence special?
Casual Mondays.
There we go. Let's go
Or I
to
just ran too much.
Doc Abernathy.
Doc Abernathy, played by me, Mike, Uncle Mike, Diggy Squirrel, Diggy, whatever you want to call me.
Diggy.
Diggy.
Yeah, don't get too creative with the Diggy euphemisms. I play Dr. Everett Abernathy, who is a medical doctor who is kind of hanging out in the Hotel Excelsior because the paparazzi is chasing him around Chicago because they want to write stories about him potentially killing his wife, which he didn't do. In the last 24 hours or so, Dr. Abernathy has been exposed to the otherworldly mythos of the Cthulhu world, and he has bought in hook, line, and sinker. He's also walking around with this game's version of temporary insanity, which makes him a little bit more open to those kind of ideas. But most importantly, he found out that the hotel has been serving human flesh for some number of weeks, and that has really kind of triggered something in Dr. Abernathy's brain. And although the rest of the crew seems to be at least considering leaving, Dr. Abernathy is going to stay here until
I feel like you're waiting to punch that culinary card. You're like, you've got a little punch card for culinary stuff.
That's right.
You're like, I never have tasted the land pig or whatever it's called, long pig.
Yeah.
Long pig.
After 3 meals, you get a free win.
Full on Sweeney Todd, try the priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Mike was saying,
yeah,
Abernathy is probably in this for the long haul, which, given his sanity, is probably potentially a short haul.
Yeah, he's very healthy. He's very good with the rifle he's carrying, and he's very, very low on sanity right now.
So the fact that he's good with that rifle may work to the party's ultimate disadvantage.
That's true.
Mike has been co-keepering with me and preventing me from having to learn a lot of the rules of Call of Cthulhu as my life has continued to get crazy. And I've tried to simultaneously learn 3 new RPG systems over the past few weeks. So, continual gratitude from everyone for Mike making this stream possible, basically.
That's kind. You're doing a great job. I know you're going to go to Katie next, but I'll remind you before you really get rolling, let us do our luck rolls.
Yes, thank you. I mentioned that I needed to do that while you were off camera while we were waiting on Steve.
Oh, my bad.
No, that is fine. Reminding me of things simply makes it more likely that they will happen. And let's go to Katie, who is specially dressed for the occasion. And hiding that with
Hello. Yep, hello. I'm Katie, featuring my cat Orion, who was feeling like he had to be up here. And yes, I am wearing some tentacles for the occasion. Resident artist and long-term D&D tabletop player. I'm playing Ellie Walker, who has been through some things. Oh, Orion. Not the least being electrocuted and her boyfriend being set on fire. Just a lot of things. She was a bootlegger, and now she is halfway into the pot for the human cannibal operation. But yeah, just gonna try and see what happens. That's about all I got.
That is plenty. At the very beginning of this stream, you were a motivating factor in allowing me to make interesting things happen, and I'm still appreciative of that. We're still earning the dividends from your early decisions.
Your early chaos that you then handed off to my late game chaos.
Yeah, who knew stealing a piece of paper from a guy's hotel room would lead to this?
Only in Cthulhu.
My.
That's the Cthulhu butterfly effect for sure. So my reminders, my announcements for the channel, I will try and be brief since we're getting a late start. First of all, as Death by Snoo Snoo has already exhibited, you can spend your channel points to aid or the opposite of aid our wonderful investigators as they go through their investigation and try and survive my murder hotel. If we have a bonus die, if we have an elder sign up in the corner, we have a bonus die, and we only have those bonus dice because you buy them for us, and they and I can spend them to try and succeed in critical moments. Thank you also to Sally Quinn Creations, to The Dungeonaut, to Rastarul, to Silver Strikers, V. Cuta, Tillian Tatuador, Vanquished Bleach. Thank all of you for following the channel and or rating us. We are Misty Mountain Streaming. We like to tell and experience great stories, and our favorite way to do that is by playing tabletop role-playing games like Call of Cthulhu. But we don't stop at Call of Cthulhu. We have multiple Dungeons & Dragons streams throughout the week, and we have a Deadlands stream, which premiered last week and was promptly cut short by Twitch server issues. So we will be back with that tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, and we will be drawing for the giveaway that began during that interrupted stream. We will also be doing a new giveaway tomorrow morning for more Wild West, Deadlands, Weird West themed items. And the giveaway never closed because I didn't want anyone who bought tickets last week to lose their tickets for this coming week. So the giveaway is open tonight. So if you haven't entered the giveaway, you may enter the giveaway tonight, and the winner will be drawn tomorrow morning. If you are not already in our community Discord, that is probably where I will contact you to get addresses and shipping information if you win. So please do join that community Discord if you haven't already. What was that, Erik?
Yeah, man. Air horning, promoting it.
Hey, the 90 minutes that you guys did get through was excellent, and there was a big crowd. So
the stream was so popular that it crashed the Twitch.
That
broke Twitch.
Must be it. On our channel,
no other
broke
explanation.
Twitch. Also, hello to first-time chatter, Lawful Good Dad. I like that name. Yes, if you are just joining us, hopefully we will give you a little bit of a better recap so you are all caught up to begin watching this. And otherwise, we have a YouTube channel where you can go watch the whole adventure from the beginning. And these players have run us through a great time. I've had an enormous fun running them around the Hotel Excelsior for the past several weeks. So,
no, Snoo, I don't think there is a thing you can purchase with channel points to make Rob cold read more usernames.
No, there are nothing to do with nothing, but last year I cold read A Christmas Carol on camera in one sitting. I will probably do something similar again this year. So if you'd like me cold reading things while being cold, presumably around Christmas time, just wait for that.
Actually,
Absolutely amazing.
Lawful Good Dad, you will get more tickets as you continue to watch. Following the channel earns you some. Subbing earns you some. If you are impatient, you can earn extra tickets that way. Subscribers do have extra luck in the giveaway, just so everyone is aware. They go the extra mile to support us. they're a little luckier when it comes to drawing our free stuff.
Watching and buying things will get you points. They will not automatically get you tickets. Once you have the points, you still have to run that tickets command. So
Thank you for
make
that.
sure that no problem. Just wanted to make sure that he didn't miss out.
Before we go any further, let us take Mike's recommendation and roll to see if we increase our luck. Luck is a currency that the players can use to succeed where they might otherwise fail in Call of Cthulhu, and they get a little bit more every time we play. So once again,
I did want to point out, like we were allowed to roll our other categories to roll up, right?
did we? Mike, help me
No.
out with this. Last time, did we level up?
No, we didn't. Because we didn't really take a break that would warrant it, I don't think.
You know,
I thought we were just sort of rolling it at the beginning and adding those.
I've been trying to do it every other session, but you know what? I mean, this may very well be our last session, so I guess if we're gonna do it again, we might as well do it now. What's up, Mike?
I just got 10 more luck.
Holy cow,
Nice.
Doc!
I rolled like an 88, and then I rolled a 10. On Misty Mountain Gaming dice, they always roll 10s.
Gosh.
You got
Oh.
you
Is
two
that a
must be
selling
frauds.
Is that
Well,
is that on the
You
D6
freaking
as well?
frauds.
On the D4, can you roll the D10?
No, it's just the 10-siders that are rigged.
Oh, okay. Good to know. You know what? To Eric's point, what the hell? Let's if you've got a check mark, let's go ahead and do the investigator development phase.
All right, great.
You may not get another chance.
I failed my luck. While we do the rest of it, I'm gonna walk away for about 10 seconds. Be right back.
Okay.
But I only have one skill to roll, so.
Y'all feel free to talk me through what you're doing. Johnny, what are you upgrading tonight?
I am upgrading my acting talent, which I failed, so it will increase, and it will increase by a whopping 1. Wait, that's cocked. It's either a 1 or a 9. I'm gonna
I
reroll
added
it.
1 to charm.
An 8.
Nice. Okay.
I
Johnny
upgraded
is
my
getting a
stealth
better
by 2
actor
points.
by going a little bit crazy. Somehow this checks out. Eric, does that track with your experience?
Yes, of course.
Well,
Of course.
see what it is I just saw a man get mowed down by a Tommy gun in front of me, so now all of my death scenes are going to be that much more believable.
There you
What
go.
happened was
Ooh,
Yeah,
I am
absolutely.
failing everything, which is normally
I'm not.
bad.
I
I'm far
upgraded
too
my
good.
stealth by 2 points. You said the base was 20 because I had no numbers there before, so now I have a 22 there.
Very nice.
I think psychology might have gone up a couple of ticks, and I think I've failed almost every other one.
Existential Nerd made sure that we all are starting off with bonus dice going into the final session.
Thank
you very much.
out there as well. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, we are fully loaded.
I made every roll except charm, which I raised by 1. So I didn't raise my medicine. I didn't raise my first aid. I didn't raise my spot hidden. I didn't raise my listen.
What a
yes.
time to get 2 single-digit numbers. When I was trying to
I was rolling
upgrade
under
things.
20 on everything.
Yeah, I know, right? You're supposed to get
First
what
world
80, 90
problems.
for everything, so that you can.
Yeah.
Holdren, do not worry. Just because this may be the final session at the Hotel Excelsior does not mean Cthulhu is necessarily going to end or that the Monday night stream is going away. Simply that the story of the Hotel Excelsior may end tonight.
For those of you who just really
All of
care,
us dying.
Johnny's acting improved, as did his fast talking, and also his brawl by very meager margins. And
Excellent.
I also am very impressed with Katie's on-point costume design for the evening.
Oh,
For
no.
Right?
whoever said that.
This is fancy stuff from Italy.
Channel supporter and
It's Italian.
what's that, Mike? Sorry.
I'm wearing tentacle underwear. You just can't see it.
Is this the joke point where I joke
I was-
about a tentacle in my underwear? Anyway.
Uh-oh. I think my camera froze.
That's
Gonna get
better
rid of
than the
it in 2
joke I
seconds.
was going to make. So,
Just have a frozen shot.
Uh-oh.
Holdren,
She'll be
community's
back. She'll be back.
strong community supporter and great artist Holdren says that it's not a Cthulhu game if they don't all die, which
There we go.
I hadn't planned to murder all of you, but if it's not a Cthulhu game unless they all die.
I
guess
would
we're all
make one
dying.
tweak to that. It's not a Cthulhu game unless all but one person dies or goes insane.
Or goes insane.
There always has to be somebody that crawls their way out to tell the story that nobody believed.
I'm down here, crawling.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get things started. Lawful Good Dad needs some backstory. So, our investigators have all been staying, at least for the past several days, at the Hotel Excelsior. It is a past its prime grand hotel in the outskirts of Chicago, across town from the airport, the Midway Airport, I believe I said, if I can remember my Chicago even a little bit. This place was, perhaps is a better word, a great hotel in its heyday. Now it has fallen to a little bit derelict, a little bit of emptiness, a little bit of suspect practices. They have a bootlegging operation in the basement. They regularly house and hide mobsters and people who do not wish to be seen, found, or asked questions by the general populace. And it's been run on a bit of a string of bad luck recently, as 2 people burned alive in one of the hotel rooms not that long ago. One of them may or may not have been shot first. Their fire escape toppled over and crashed into another building.
I guess because some fat ass was up there running around.
And lots of people staying here have had gaps in their memory. Moments, people, places, things that they really ought to know that have just seemingly vanished. In the investigating of this, Dr. Abernathy has stumbled upon a ancient Egyptian relic. He has stumbled upon a notebook containing dark secrets, once held by a now deceased Georgia reverend. Johnny Lawrence has stumbled upon arcane knowledge that could help him cast spells, real life, honest to goodness spells. Jack Kealy is looking for an escape and an alibi from the murder that he absolutely committed and several that he did not. And Ellie Walker is struggling with the fact that she believes that she may be cursed and that everyone around her is fated to suffer an untimely end thanks to her continued existence, essentially. Depending on if you believe the now woefully deceased German professor, this might all be the work of an invisible memory eater that Dr. Abernathy is convinced exists, and the rest maybe not so much. What is clear is that the lady at the front desk has a Thompson machine gun and is preventing anyone by leaving through the front door, and encouraging Jack Kealy, at the very least, to head to the hotel's penthouse above the burning floor to have us chat with the person who she says has been protecting and supporting them. But she might not be all there. That said, we last left our heroes? Is that the right word for all of you? Our
Not for all of
investigators.
us, no.
We last left all of you in and around the hotel lobby where Anthony Buchanan, Buck, wannabe war hero, was just mowed down by gunfire from the other side of the front desk by a woman who we all know, to my mind, hilariously, looks like this. Jack, I think you know Johnny. Johnny, you were the closest person to Buck in this instance, were you not?
He was right behind
Yeah,
it.
probably. I was chasing him out the door.
There
when he
might
got
be
shot.
blood splatter on his face.
So as Buck just barely came into view, charging across the hotel lobby, and was halted in that progress, as you've seen blood capsules in some of your movies, right? Like, you'll pull a gun on a guy, you'll pull the trigger, and then you're realizing now how little justice movie effects do to the real thing, at least in the 1920s. What's going through Johnny's head right now?
Just a long string of expletives. Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh my god! What is this? Was no. Where exactly am I? Am I coming out of a hallway? Am I like halfway across the lobby? Am I in the middle of the tables, or like, like, how far am I from where the guy got shot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Let's determine that before we make yet another call on your behalf. How close do you want to be? How well do you think you were keeping up with the semi-crazed Buck?
Do I have like a speed or something? I don't know. Like, I was definitely following him. I don't know. Maybe
You're welcome
I don't want
to
be
roll for
right
it
up
if you
on
want.
this guy, and this guy's running like a maniac because he's, a man possessed or whatever, and I'm slightly less possessed.
Let's leave it to
so maybe
chance.
10, 15 feet back.
I was going to say, why don't you take 2 d10s? I'm sure you have 2 handy. Roll them, and that's how many feet you were behind him.
12.
That sounds like a good number to me.
Okay, and am I in the middle of the room, or in the outskirts of the room, or even in the room at all?
A sitting duck. Sorry.
Might be.
I realized that the dice that I wanted to be rolling tonight were out of reach in one of these moving boxes, so... And I would drop it immediately. Why are some dice round? Why don't they just sit where I put them?
So,
I don't
flaw.
know. That's a feature, not a flaw.
The curse of
dice
more than
are
6
supposed
dice.
You
to
never get a roll out
Rob.
of it?
Dice are supposed to roll.
Sorry,
As
let me
apparently
re-
are
cover
heads
that
in the
last one.
Hotel Excelsior.
All right. So let's say this. You're 12 feet behind him. He is just kind of in the middle of the lobby. He had no reason not to be making for the red carpet and running out that door. You are kind of on the fringes, coming around from beneath the grand stairwell, coming through the hallway from the pool area and the ice machine and a janitorial closet and an office. A public meeting room, those kinds of things. I know hotels. I've been to one. I think you are close enough to seeing a man brutally murdered before your eyes that you probably need a sanity check.
That sounds fair. I don't know if I've done but one of these.
Yeah,
so
let's do another.
maybe I've probably done 2. Okay. And I need to beat my starting. I need to beat current, right?
You need to beat your current sanity. Let's go ahead and set the stakes here. I think if you are just a cool, cold, hardened fella, that this might not affect you at all. You've seen crazier stuff tonight. But if you fail, a D4 of sanity is going away.
I succeed.
You succeed. All right.
I rolled a 24 out of 53. Yeah, a guy getting shot by a gun is terrible, but at least it makes sense.
That's fair enough. All right, so Johnny, you are in control of how you respond to this.
Okay, well then, being a man who is fully in control of his mental faculties, John will go, "Oh, ha, ha!" and start backing up and like trying to skitter behind furniture, throwing his hands up as if his hands will block bullets, and without the wherewithal to like be quiet or what. I mean, he was charging through the room just behind him. He's just looking for cover, looking to hide, and gonna start trying to make his way out of the hot zone, so to speak.
Okay. There's really no reason you can't make it back to the hallway that you came out of without any real difficulty. Are you trying from there? Are you just trying to stick to cover? Or are you trying to vanish?
Well, I don't want to go back downstairs, but the hallway that I came from is where the stairs are and stuff. So I just need to be where Joe can't see me. I don't need to like disappear into the ether, and I certainly don't want to go running through the hotel on my own. But yeah.
Okay.
Need to break line of sight.
So if you are simply trying to break line of sight and
Got
retreat,
any chest-high walls?
easy to do. That makes you visible, not from the front desk, but from the mezzanine upstairs, where Jack Kealy, Dr. Abernathy, and soon Travis Cole are standing. Travis is being drawn by the sound of gunfire from where he was previously in the kitchen of the Avalon restaurant. Jack and Abernathy, you guys see what happened down there. You're a little bit removed from it. I'm not going to ask y'all to make sanity checks. And y'all see and hear Johnny Lawrence scrambling and backpedaling to the first floor hallway behind the stairs.
Same thing I did. I totally get it.
Yeah,
I
Jack
ran
already
from that
told us
crazy
that she
lady.
had a machine gun. So
Yeah.
we
And she
probably
was on
can
the
put two and two
mezzanine.
together.
She was
Yeah.
on the mezzanine, but now she's behind the front desk, and I was on the mezzanine now, hoping to get the drop on her and take her out from the mezzanine with a pistol.
Your situation, where you are on this side of the building, you are basically above the front desk. It is beneath you. Across the mezzanine, you see the mezzanine bar, and across the lobby on the first floor, there's a nice little sitting area and a coat check room where they keep the luggage carts, but you have no visual on the front desk, and you would have no reason to know that anyone was there if bullets didn't come flying from that direction a moment ago.
But we can see down to what I assume is like the foyer, and Buck is laying there full of holes.
Oh, yeah. It's lucky the carpet's already red.
And just to be clear, I get that we're above the front desk, but are there like wings or anything to the mezzanine that we like? Would we ever be able to get in a position where we could see anything other than what we can see below us?
So if you made it basically to the opposite end of the mezzanine, if you let yourself into the mezzanine bar and made it to the other end, you could see into the front desk.
Okay.
It is entirely beneath the mezzanine. Like the facade, there's a facade of the desk, and then offices behind there. There's a door that you've never seen Joe go into or come out of, but she presumably could. And you can't just walk around the desk. You have to go into this other little room to appear behind the desk, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Can we see Johnny?
Yes.
I assume. Okay, we can.
If you are at the rail and you kind of look to the left, you see both sides of the grand stairwell, and he is on, to your eye, the left-hand side, beating a hasty retreat. And you've especially you, Abernathy, you've been here for a while. You know exactly where that hallway goes. It goes to the pool where, Fridays at 4, you will have your constitutional. There's, that you've been down that hallway. You're aware of what is back there. You're aware that if you had stopped following the blood trail one floor sooner, that's where it would have led out.
I would have one of two goals. Not having a complete picture of the 3D of this. You tell me which is most plausible. I would like to get in a position where I could potentially see the shooter from above. Or I'd like to get in a position where I think I'm most likely to be able to intercept Johnny.
Okay.
Like in a stairwell that he might be headed for or something like that. Again, what I've been trying to do for anybody watching for the last hour is to herd all these chicks together, and they keep running off and getting electrocuted.
No one in particular. They're all running off and getting electrocuted.
No, they're all doing that.
In Ellie's defense, she went crazy.
In my defense, I am also crazy. We've
and
never even
wandered
defined
off.
my phobia for the crowd. We'll have to tell everybody what my phobia is. Or my mania, not my phobia.
That's entirely up to you. You do that whenever you're ready.
Okay.
So you can get to where Johnny is without ever achieving the goal of being visible or from the front desk or seeing to the front desk.
Gotcha.
And you can go to where you can see the front desk without ever passing where Johnny is.
I'm going to get an angle on the front desk then.
Okay. The quickest
That's
way
what
to
I
do
want
that
too, bro.
would be to go all the way around the mezzanine to the opposite side of the same floor that you are on. That would give you a little bit of a vertical angle. You would have the high ground, very important in some combat situations, as I understand it, in a galaxy far, far away. Otherwise, you could basically take the same amount of steps, go down the main stairwell, or the stairwell that Johnny is heading for, and be on the same floor as the shooter. But you'd basically have to get to about the same point to be able to see inside.
Now, I think Jack and I are of a similar mind right now to try to get a shot at this bitch. So, and I'm motivated to do that in a way that I wasn't a minute ago.
All right. So what is your plan? And you and Kealy are standing there, and you can tell me that y'all look at one another, fondle your weapons, and share an understanding. Or
that's literally what I was about to say. Is
We both go.
I just kind of look at him and I go, I know how to get there, and I start moving.
Lingering eye contact as you finger the triggers and fondle the barrels.
Lord. All right.
It's better than the other way around.
I mumble, I wish I had my flying knife, but
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's protecting Johnny.
Yeah.
And I just...
Hey, I'm not dead yet.
I sort of ignore that, thinking, this guy's crazy.
But he has a really nice rifle.
Travis will emerge, and he will basically follow y'all's lead. He won't ask questions. He kind of sees the serious look on your faces and realizes that now is not the time to, to be uninformed or act uninformed. He should just go along with whatever the informed people are doing.
Yeah, I suggest that he grab a heavy ashtray or a statuette or something. Whatever's around.
Let's make a luck roll for him. Okay. He goes back into the kitchen for a moment and comes back with a cleaver.
Super.
Now, Jack and Abernathy, you are making your way around the mezzanine. Are you doing so,
Stealthily.
Stealthily, there we are. If you would both make me stealth rolls, I just ask for one for each. No penalty dice, no bonus dice unless you spend your bonus dice, and let me know how you do.
10.
10! Gosh, great.
Which is better than the 20
nice.
22 I now have on it.
I've kept it up. I rolled a 7. I made a critical success.
Holy! Doc, well.
Yeah, I'm a 40 in
silence.
stealth, and I just rolled a 7.
Doctor in
Listen,
the house. That
We're
is awesome.
trained to do this.
I'm a hunter. I'm a
You sure are, and man, you really got into the wrong line of work, apparently. So
We've got Hunter and Killer on the same team now.
So slinking down, you pick your moments and you stick to the shadows, and the two of you move like a trained unit and start making your way to the other side of the mezzanine. I'm thinking of Toy Story now, thanks to that.
There's nothing wrong with thinking of Toy Story.
You are a toy.
Well, that depends on when.
By the way, hello to Gnome Drunkski, great name, and Irok Bainray, Thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate y'all being here. Johnny, you have made your way into the hallway. You have no interest in going down the stairs. But you are convinced, and your eyes are, I imagine, glued to the front desk and seeing if there's any motion, if there's any reason why you should continue to seek cover. But you are, you're flattening yourself against the walls. You're trying to put little pieces of accent furniture between you and the front desk as often as possible. And you, I wouldn't say you feel safe, but you don't feel seen at this moment.
Okay. Did you say that I was over near the luggage carts?
No, sorry. They are quite near the front door, which you are not quite near.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Okay.
man, there's a potential skateboard scene there that you
Yeah,
just
no,
killed.
I was gonna like.
No, sorry.
either
So,
chart-
hang on. You know what? People don't always put the luggage carts back where they belong. Why don't you make
That's
a luck
right.
roll, Johnny?
I don't have luck. I don't think.
Waste a good roll on this. Come on.
As I said, I don't have luck.
They're all fastidiously put away. Turns out that Terry guy that you helped murder,
I did not help murder him.
you started things off.
You did an awful thing to his little arm that
Okay,
did
but
a ton of damage to him.
Mike?
He did an awful thing to his big arm, which then became a little arm.
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah. So there goes my plan of lashing some of them together and charging the front desk. But oh well.
Oh no, that's what you're gonna
is
do.
this
I want that
Watchmen?
to happen all of a sudden.
yeah. Hey, you had your chance and you made me
I made
roll
a
for it, you
raft of
son of
Yeah,
a
human
bitch.
you're a
Johnny.
wizard, man. You're a wizard, Harry. Why are you
yeah.
doing all this mundane stuff?
So I'm just gonna because my luck, my magic points don't come back the whole game. I got to cast one spell. You have to like it comes back like one per hour, and we've said that
That's
it hasn't been long enough. So
You know what?
I cast my one spell.
It's been an
4
hour. You get
sessions ago.
1 point back.
There we go. I am now 5 of the necessary 8. All right. I had a very low magic point total, I
You
think.
sure did.
Yeah, I'll just peek and see if I can see her wherever. You know what? I'll use like a. I know I've got my little Zippo or whatever. Maybe I can like peek and see if the old coot is like watching the lobby like a hawk still, or if she's moved on.
Okay.
Kind of like mirror situation,
I like that to the point where I'm going to let you do it. But that has got to be one of the worst ways to try and look at something, is in the reflective surface of a lighter.
I had a pretty shiny one. I don't know how
Yeah,
they made them in the...
I'm not sure how perfectly mirror-like it is. So I'm gonna give you a penalty die, but you only have to get a normal success, and you have a bonus die if you want to combat it.
Nah.
Okay.
This is just to do it safely. I'll do it unsafely if it doesn't work. The penalty took it. Went from a 9 to a 99.
Wow.
So Johnny
That's
will then like
99 is that's not a
That's
what's
critical
your
failure.
I was about to say, what is your spot hidden?
40.
Thanks, Erik. That's a critical failure.
Ew.
Yeah.
And I can't luck that into a 98, I assume.
Yeah, it'd still be a critical failure.
Okay. Yep, that's what I rolled then.
96 and above.
So
my Zippo reflects some light then, or whatever, and gives away my spot.
So I mean,
what have you, Keeper.
yeah, I was gonna say a failure I could just let you fail. A critical failure, I'm pretty sure something bad needs to happen. But for the
Makes
moment,
sense.
as far as Johnny's aware, he sees nothing, which could be a comfort.
Hmm.
But there's now a laser on your forehead.
Yeah, from the Tommy gun in the 30s.
They got
So
that
am I near
alien
the-
technology, that great old one shit.
Am I near the stairs then?
You are pretty near the stairs. And you know what? About this time, Ellie, you don't necessarily have to stop at the first floor. But you are coming up the stairs, and you see the door is open. And through it, you see Johnny Lawrence plastered against a corner. looking around a corner with his Zippo.
Okay. I mean, it's not that weird for Johnny Lawrence to be doing something strange, so I don't think that really throws me.
Might be
Fair.
checking his hair.
I do feel like it would be obvious that he's hiding from something, and I feel like there would also be an obvious dead buck in the middle of the floor.
From the stairwell,
probably
you
heard the
can't see
gunshot.
that, but you heard the gunshots at the end of the last session.
Okay, so I did hear the gunshots. So if I can see Johnny, I may assume that he has at least been shot at by somebody. Okay, I'm gonna stop at that floor and come out of the stairwell. But I'm gonna stay really close to the stairwell because I don't need to get too close to anybody, or they'll die gruesomely immediately. But maybe there's like a 50-foot barrier, like when I see how close I have to get to somebody before they explode into a pile of greasy viscera.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
But
I'll
if you
come
gotta
out
test it on
that floor.
somebody, probably test it on Johnny. I mean,
Like you test everything else.
yeah.
I mean, it's fine. But yeah, I'll step out there and just kind of try to like assess the situation,
Okay.
see where everybody's at.
Johnny, you see her stepping out. You can barely see the front facade of the building, the interior of the front facade. You can't quite see the door coming out of this stairwell, but it's a straight hallway into the foyer from where you're coming up. No, actually, it's not. No, it is. Let's say it is. I'm realizing that my mental hotel is a little bit broken architecturally.
Gotcha. Ellie. Oh, thank goodness you made it out alive, but stay down. There's that crazy old lady that works behind the desk. She's mowing. She's shooting at everybody with a machine gun. She just mowed down Buck as he made it for the exit. I lost sight of her. I don't know where she's at anymore.
Am I close enough to hear him trying to say this in like a whisper?
Yes, he is saying it in a whisper that he judges sufficient to reach you.
Stage whisper. Got it.
Yes. Actor.
Okay, well, in that case...
That's the gesture you make, right, Erik?
Well, in silent films, he's like actor, and it's like,
Yes.
we're silent films.
Yes, I am stage whispering.
Exactly.
This is how we whisper in these
This looks like
silent
I'm
movies.
whispering.
so that you can see our mouths moving particularly well.
Well, if you were an actor in silent films, you probably got your start on an actual stage, so you probably do know what stage whispering is.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
Because I have decades and decades of going, line! Line!
Okay, yeah, so hearing all this, can't say I'm surprised. I knew that the front desk lady was fucked up because of that phone call. I'm feeling not super self-preservation-y right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get my gun back out. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna start creeping around the edge of the room.
Okay.
Away from Johnny. The other way.
So you're back in the hallway behind the stairs. Are you heading for the foyer, or are you back here in the hall? Are you heading for the lobby, I should ask?
Is there a way that I could get to the other side of the lobby from the foyer without going into the main area? Like a side room or a hallway or something?
So, as Ellie Walker, let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
The grand stairwell is at one end of the lobby, right? There's a hallway that goes behind it and connects to either side, allowing access from 2 points onto the lobby. From that hallway, I mentioned that there was a door to an office.
Mm-hmm.
And there is. Just inside the foyer the lobby part. Rob needs to redefine how he thinks of rooms. Just inside the lobby, there is a door to an employee-only area, not unlike the kind of space that you guys have down in the basement. This is where Joe's office is. This is where kind of an employee area is. This is where some mail receiving areas are. More clerical functional stuff. And it leads to the other side of the front desk. If what Johnny told you is true, and if Joe hasn't moved, it is a guaranteed way to run into Joe with a machine gun. But you could take that route without ever being visible from the front desk. Or if you're just wanting to make the front desk visible, you could go down the hallway the other way, come up on the other side of the stairs, walk down that wall just a little bit, and the front desk would be visible.
Interesting. Okay. So the second way it'll be visible, but the first way I'll basically be right behind it. Right beside it.
The first way, you would be invisible to everyone who was not in that hallway until you got to the front desk.
Gotcha.
But if there was someone in that hallway, you would be very visible to them.
Of course there's someone in that hallway.
Capital
Yeah,
I,
okay.
if, Katie.
I mean, you've got like 2 hit points. You're fine.
Yeah.
I know. I'm alive. For now. Look, if I go, good. They're better off without me. I'm gonna go down that hallway.
Okay.
But before I go, I'm gonna try and like catch eye contact with Johnny. I'm gonna do like the little like military, like I'm going this way kind of hand symbol, you know?
Ellie's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure in 1930 you've seen tons of movies about that.
Yes. A lot of commando movies, that kind of thing.
I was in the movies as like a spy or whatever, so maybe.
I feel like it makes sense for everybody to know those right now.
Fair. Okay, I give you a nod that like, but I don't know. I just give you a thumbs up back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe shoots your thumb off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Ellie is making her way towards that door, which is... I would just say, Ellie, you're used to that door being locked.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, are you following along?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll follow along.
Are you going quickly? Are you going stealthily? Are you going and trying to stick to cover? Question to you both.
I'll do what Ellie's doing.
Yeah, I'm going stealthily. For sure.
All right, both of you go ahead and roll your stealth for me again. Just like the boys did upstairs.
Yeah, we all have to do things.
I should probably... Mike, would you roll stealth for Travis, please?
Sure.
Just tell me what number you get.
If he ruins
He got a 42.
Okay,
Probably failed.
probably.
it.
It's a phony, a big fat phony.
I got a success, but barely.
Okay.
I did not.
A regular.
And
All right.
it's too big for my little luckless
I
butt
shoot
to
Trevor
fix.
first.
Johnny, I was going to make an embarrassing call for you, but I really shouldn't. But it reminds you of one of those, one of your scenes from one of your movies, and you remember the score from that bit. You remember what the silent movie music was doing, and you start kind of humming it to yourself, but you stop yourself. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Nerd.
Wrong, no.
Such a nerd. We're sneaking.
No, I think this Johnny is the Scrooge Croc for sure.
Agent Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Try to sneak around. Hold on, I'm super stealthy.
All right.
He's like,
Ellie,
Ellie, we look awesome doing
Yeah.
this.
Ellie, you make it to the door.
Okay.
It's locked.
Yeah.
We know you have your lockpicks with you.
Got the lockpick.
Does my key that lets me into maintenance areas work on this door?
You don't. In your role, you don't really have cause to be in here. But
That's fair.
Joe wouldn't really have a reason to keep one from you either if you'd ever asked. Do you want to make a luck roll to find out?
Let me make a luck roll.
Let's make you make
Maybe-
a luck roll.
Right. Maybe I was like, hey, it's helpful for me. You know, it could be helpful for me to have like secret paths through the hotel to like hide my shit in case the cops show up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Little
I don't know,
prohibition
man.
secret
Yeah,
tunnels.
That is what you're supposed to do in Cthulhu, by the way.
We're all about
Convince
secret
the keeper that it's a good idea, and even convince him to give you bonus dice.
I rolled a 39. Let me see where my luck's at. Yep. Okay.
Lawrence.
That's a pass.
Johnny Lawrence.
That's a pass. You try your
My luck's
key.
pretty good.
I'm just trying to remember. Does this one open this? Yes. Yes. All right. So you didn't have to put your gun away to use two hands to fish out your lockpicks and whatnot. So you still have that ready to go. That's the good news.
Okay. Comma.
The bad news is Johnny critically
The
failed.
bad news is Johnny. Yep. I knew that was going to be the next word.
And Joe began making her way down this hallway
No.
to try
Oh, no.
and smoke him out.
Making my way.
So as soon as that door starts to open, bullets are going to start hitting the door, and possibly things on the other side of it.
Things like our heroes.
Things like,
Crazy.
well, not even our heroes, just Ellie. Because Johnny
Oh.
hasn't made it to the
You can-
door yet because he's
Let's just
following
be clear.
her.
She hasn't even had first aid yet.
No,
So she is
Killed our
bleeding.
tentacles.
she has so many
You could-
ways to not
You
be
could
okay right now.
You could just throw a bullet at her and kill her.
If Johnny steps too close to me and breathes too hard on my back, I'm going to die.
A Broy Hill lovely Pinewood bedroom set.
So,
Everybody has a 30% chance to make a first aid roll, by the way, and both of you could try to work on Ellie, just for what it's worth.
I didn't know.
But
that.
now's not a good time.
yeah, just
No, it's
throwing.
not, now it's not the time.
No, suddenly it is no longer the time. I am afraid. So let's get some dice involved here.
Okay.
Let's decide how much armor a door is going to afford. Mike, if you could be working on that while I find out if
Yeah.
Did you say you're looking for a door to afford? I got one in my backyard.
we're gonna find out if 2 volleys from a Thompson submachine gun are even going to hit, and then the armor will become important.
The door shaves off 3 points.
Okay. That is fairly not a success. Now I will have a bonus die, but I'm going to spend... I would have a penalty die, but I'm going to spend a bonus die to... you know... Make a flat roll.
Yeah,
To
kill
make
her.
things nice and
Wait a minute,
exciting. Yep.
Kill her.
That is also a failure.
I don't want her to suffer for my bad roll.
Well, she was all right with
Friday.
Dr. Abernathy suffering for her stealing a page, so it's only fair.
If I die, can I just come back as a ghost and haunt everybody like in Phasmophobia? Like throwing stuff off the shelves and everything, you know?
That is a Cthulhu thing, actually.
See?
What?
So here's
Shit,
what I
put me
will
out,
say.
put me out.
As Ellie, you begin to open that door, and you're still trying to be stealthy, right? Like you're not throwing the door open. You're trying to
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't squeak and whatnot, and as it starts to open up, you hear the rat-a-tat of a Thompson, of a Tommy gun, of a Chicago typewriter, and the door begins to splinter. Bits of wood are flying by your face. You quickly smell gunpowder in the air, and you kind of stumble back, fall back, as these bullets just tear through the door. You are miraculously unharmed. The door is not quite open. And Johnny and Jack, Kealy, and Dr. Abernathy, who have basically made it to the middle of the mezzanine, like right near the top of the stairwell, right where the elevator comes up on this floor. And if they were at the banister, could look down and see Ellie and Johnny. All hear this happen. So what we probably want to do now is act in initiative for everyone. Most of you have either a spell or a readied gun. And so does the one person you know you're fighting. But none of you can see one another, so none of you, I imagine, are using your action to pull a trigger. Unless, Ellie, you're hoping to shoot through the door as well. Thanks, Holdren. So, we're just going to go in dexterity order. So...
Damn it.
Actually...
Yes?
Hold on, let me just ask this question. So, like, I'm the one that's opening the door.
You were, yes.
So I'm in control of the open of the door.
You could control.
You know what I'm trying to say?
You could, if you wished.
So, having the door handle in my hand and my gun in my other hand, I could potentially, like, reach around and shoot. Well, 99% still behind the door.
The way Cthulhu is working, basically, if you are doing anything before pulling that trigger, you go at your dex order.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I guess that would technically be a movement.
And she's already put bullets in that thing, making it Swiss cheese,
But,
sister.
I mean, you can start shooting the door.
Yeah?
I know, but if I shoot, I want it to have a good chance of actually killing her. Hey, I could try. I could just shoot through the door, I guess. It's already been shot through once. I can try to shoot through one of the other holes.
Put your gun right on one of those
Calculate the
holes.
trajectory of the last bullet hole and just line your barrel up.
See, that's the way you get a bonus die in Cthulhu. You
I'm
really are
pretty
supposed to say
close.
things like that.
Yeah?
I'm close to the door. I can just put it up against one of the holes. It'll even be the right angle to, like, angle. The hole is going to be going right towards her gun.
Is that what you're wanting to do? Is that what you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get my dex order then. Ellie, what is your dexterity plus 50?
My dexterity plus 50 is...
A lot.
125.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. The rest of you lads, what's your dexterity?
50.
50 for Abernathy.
Also 45.
2 45s and a 50?
Well, I have a 55, but I
thought... 55. Sorry.
I thought you said add 50. That would make it 105.
You're adding 50 if you are pulling a trigger right now. Which you currently don't see anybody but Dr. Abernathy and Travis to pull a trigger at, so I'm assuming you're probably going to do something before you pull the trigger.
Okay, but what you're saying is I'm looking down there. I can see Ellie at a door?
So yes. So you are at the far end of the lobby at the top of the grand stairwell. If you look down over the banister to your right, you can see Johnny and Ellie. You can see that she is at a door. You can see nothing past that door, even if the door was open.
Okay, and she has not then fired yet these holes through the door yet.
Joe, presumably, has. Ellie has not.
Okay.
But it's little holes. They're not...
Right, but I mean, I hear gunfire coming from downstairs.
If you're wanting to stand where you are and shoot, you are welcome to do so. I just think you don't really have an angle at the person on the other side.
To be clear, you said it's front desk, and then there's a door over here.
Like at the other end of the lobby.
Okay.
Not on the opposite side, just at the far end of the same wall.
Okay.
And then your stairwell is right here, and you are at the top of that.
Uh-huh. All right.
So yeah, if you tell me that you want to pull the trigger on your gun, you can go
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to understand exactly what I could see and where and hear, and whether or not this room that she's gone through, this door, if that connects to this trigger. Because you said she was chasing somebody through that door, right?
She hasn't moved to chase anyone yet. She's standing at the doorway, holding the door shut for the time being.
And Ellie's on the other side, trying to open.
No, sorry, I was talking about Ellie. She is standing there holding the door. You don't know. Nobody really knows where the Tommy gun is.
We can't see Tommy gun. We
somewhere on the other side of that door.
Have no idea where she is. Yeah.
Trying to figure out where that door connects to.
In all fairness, Jack has no idea. Jack has never been on the other side of that door. Ellie is the only one of you that ever has. And for the point of argument, Ellie, you know that there is a short hallway going straight ahead, and then it hangs a left, and there's a hallway of doors on either side as you make your way to the back of the front desk. There's probably 15... somewhere between 12 and 20 feet of hallway straight ahead of that door before it hangs a left. All right, real quick. Let me grab that other book.
Excuse me, but it's in the library.
I have all the books. If you want to look at something, I could look it up.
I'm just here to do increasingly complicated and weird stuff.
I don't want you looking at this one, Mike, unfortunately, or I would ask for your help.
Okay.
It may not.
I know what that means.
Ellie, it is your turn. You are pulling the trigger. You're putting the gun up to a hole in the door, and you are pulling the trigger.
Uh-huh. Yep.
All right. I do not consider this an easy thing to do at all.
It's understandable.
To hit what is on the other side of this door. Because her pulling that trigger was not necessarily the last thing she did with her turn.
You got it tucked away.
So what I'm going to do... Sorry?
Nope, go ahead.
I'm going to say... This is something it would take some real... It takes no skill at all to put a gun to a hole and pull the trigger.
Okay.
But I do think that it is going to make it difficult for you to hit your enemy. So here's what I'm going to do. You don't have to worry about armor. The door is going to provide anything on the other side, no protection. But I'm going to award you a penalty die to any rounds you fire right now.
Okay.
Because you can't see your target.
That's fair.
Makes perfect sense. Remember, you can't move after you shoot unless you took a penalty die on your shot.
Okay. Wait, so if you take a penalty die, you can move?
Yes.
Wait, okay.
But instead of like D&D where you can run a little, shoot, run a little more, Cthulhu looks much more holistically at your turn. Like, if I was moving and shooting, it would be harder to shoot.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the idea.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You need to, like, be able to stop and steady yourself.
That's right.
Can I use my bonus die to offset that penalty die?
You may.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. This is already gonna be kind of hard.
What's your firearm skill like?
I actually put some points into it, so it's a 30.
A 30?
It's not like amazing, but I put a few points into it. I figured it make sense as a criminal.
Sounds good. Let me know how it goes.
I'm stressed.
I'd give you my bonus die if I could.
It's okay. I'm just thinking back to all those really bad rolls I made in the basement with the electrical thing.
You might want to use one of these cheating Misty Mountain gaming dice.
I am
Cheating.
using.
What?
I'm full themed. I'm using my Call of Cthulhu dice that have little Cthulhu's on them, and I've
Oh,
got
that's
the
awesome.
Cthulhu ring on. We're just
Wow.
themed. Oh god.
Remember, you can use luck to get yourself to a success if you need to.
I don't think I need to.
Okay, how'd
Super.
you do?
I rolled a 7, which is 1 point away from a really extreme success.
That is a hard success, so you
Yep.
are going to hit something.
Yay.
So go ahead and roll the damage on your gun, please.
Okay. Okay. How do I know what to roll? Is
Down
it
there
just...
in your... Oh, you don't know what kind of weapon you have, do you?
I have a revolver, but it's not listed on my sheet. I never looked it up.
Boy.
That's probably my fault.
Alright, hang
I'll
on.
get it for you real quick.
I'm sure
I've got
there's
it
a
open in
list of
front of me.
1920s revolvers.
Handguns. Yeah, it really just depends on what you want. A 32 revolver does a D8. Yeah, I think you could burn 1 point of luck and make that an extreme success and get an impale, just so you know.
Is the impale
I would
extreme or
100%
critical?
do that.
It's critical. It's critical, I think. I thought she already was at extreme.
No, she was 1 point away from extreme.
Yeah. I mean, I could... What a critical success would just be a 1, right?
Oh, no. I'm getting my terminology wrong.
I don't know that you can luck your way into an impale. I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's fair. It would make sense if you couldn't.
Either way, I'm going to be consistent with that. And believe it or not, Joe has luck, and she is not going to spend it on impaling people.
A 32 revolver does a D8. A 38 revolver does a D10. A 41 revolver also does a D10. A Magnum does a D10, a D4 plus 2.
Let's stick with the D10, then. That seems like the average.
Works for me.
All right,
It
roll
would
a
be
D10.
fun if it's a Magnum, because that's the type of gun I actually have in real life. It rolled
Ariel.
a 7.
A 7. All right.
Yep.
Plus, that's a lot of damage.
It sure is. Let's compare that to what she is working with. Doo-doo-doo.
I hope I just committed my first murder.
Things you hope never to hear in real life.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's another phrase that I don't hear very often. I can't speak for everyone.
Gosh, I sure do hope that was murder I just did.
If I had a nickel.
Brilliant. So, you hear a yelp and a whimper from the other side of that door, Ellie.
Good. Maybe. Does it sound
Shot
like it
her
was
dog.
It's
Shut
gonna
it
be
down.
somebody else.
Joe?
the lobby dog is now bleeding out.
Oh, don't you do that to me. I will quick save and reload.
That's great.
Wait, huh?
Did it sound like Joe?
Hard to say through a perforated, closed door with
It's
gunfire.
Anthony Ricci.
That's
I'll
fair,
say
and
it
I don't have
sounded
ear
human.
protection on. Okay, well, that's fair.
But
Like,
was
none
it
of the main characters are back there, so it's fine.
So since you're not moving,
I didn't shoot a protagonist.
that's really the end of your turn, then, isn't it?
Oh
Perhaps.
my.
Yeah, but yep.
Got it. All right. Next up in our lovely little initiative order is the Jack Kealy. It's the Hollywood fixer.
Oh my. So I feel terrible for saying this because I understand it's theater of the mind, and apparently my mind is so warped I can't figure out exactly what angle I see on this door. But
it is okay. So let me try and paint you a better picture. So you take 3 steps, and you are at the top of a stairwell, and you look immediately down, and you see Johnny Lawrence sneaking, and you can kind of see, kind of in the shadow of the mezzanine that you had been walking around, Ellie is at a door, and she has a gun set to a closed door that you can see about half of. Because of the angle and because of Ellie. If you went to the bottom of the stairs, you would be 15 feet away from Ellie, standing at that door, basically behind her.
All right. I will do exactly that. Roll up behind her. Listen, sister, I don't know if you're trying to get shot, but I already see holes over here. And obviously she's just shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I am, I guess, rolling up behind her going, did you get him? Like, I don't really know. Oh, sorry, with one hand, because the other hand has a gun in it. Yeah. Did you get him? And that's pretty much all I have to do here.
I got something.
All right. Now...
Why is the blood purple?
You just shot Cthulhu. Game over, guys. Let's go home.
Mike, I'm delighted to be able to continue calling upon you for things such as this. Joe took more than half her hit points there, but Joe is alive.
Okay.
Now, as with what happened with Ellie, a roll is required to see if she remains conscious.
Yeah, there's actually this great flow chart that we found after we struggled with that, so I can go straight to it. I just looked up the luck rule just so you know you can move it around to get better successes by the optional rule, but I would not argue with you if you did not want to use that.
That's an optional rule? Let's not bother with it for now,
luck
then.
is an optional rule, is what I'm saying. So.
I see. I'm gonna stick with what I said for
Yeah.
now.
I don't think that's bad. Well, I just know we have done it in the past, so that's why. Because I thought we were doing wrong before, so I knew I had looked it up. What did you ask me? Oh, to kill Joe for you. All right, here we go.
So she's going to take
here we go. So she
major
takes,
wound, fall prone,
she
and
takes
potentially
equal to or more than half. Fall prone. She needs to make a con roll. If she fails it, she goes unconscious, and then Ellie can walk in there and shoot her in the head.
Okay, I have made that roll. She has fallen prone. She is taking this major wound, but she is not unconscious.
That's all that. I mean, that's it. Then she's just walking around with a major wound, which is important to know in case she gets hurt further. But in no other respect is she handicapped.
Excellent.
And she does things like, I'm so wounded.
Which is basically the same as Ellie right now. Ellie does not need to get hurt anymore, but she's so freaking hurt that the fact that she has a major wound is nearly irrelevant.
But that's on the inside, Mike. That's on the inside.
I've been cooked to like medium well.
Does anybody smell?
So I'm going to put this in
broken but burning heart.
I'm going to put this in perspective for people. You said you did 6 damage, Ellie. Is that right?
7.
7. That's what. Okay. She has 8.
Damn it!
So it was. She's not the healthiest woman in the world, but she is a woman with most of a drum of machine gun ammo left.
We need that weapon.
You can have it with what ammo is left, and she is going to fire
all of it.
She's going to fire a lot of it because she cannot have another bullet in her. So,
but before the stream, we looked up the rules for how thorough your penalties are for unloading a machine gun on somebody. So Rob has all the math worked out.
I do, and let me tell you, she is not any better with this machine gun than Ellie is. But she's gonna try. She's gonna try awful hard to kill Ellie right now.
Ellie, if you are grazed by one of these 50 bullets that's coming your way, you're going to die.
I know.
That is probably the case, and you are going to have
I think
taken
this
out.
is the end.
Just for the sake of the dramatic tension, it is 8:36. Maybe we should take our break here.
Oh, good thinking.
All right, so we will be back in a few minutes.
Poor Ellie.
Let's take a 9-minute break. We'll come back at the 45, and we will go on from there. All right, guys?
Sounds
All right.
good.
Don't forget, there's a giveaway for you to enter. We're not drawing the winner till tomorrow, but feel free to go ahead and grab tickets. Enjoy some piano music, and we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back, everyone. I hope we're enjoying Mike's frame. Mike fancies himself a comedian, and I can't help but agree. Thank you very much, TL Holdren, for your 97th gift sub for the channel to Erik Bainray. Just a reminder, since we are doing that giveaway and drawing the winner tomorrow, subscribers get additional luck towards winning free dice and other goodies from us tomorrow morning. Erik, you qualify now, thanks to Holdren.
Oh my.
So,
Way to go.
keen-eyed viewers will notice that there is no longer an elder sign in the corner of my screen, because Jo is going to give it her very best shot on her first volley of,
Literally,
you know,
best shot.
I'm gonna leave this to a certain amount to chance how many volleys are coming out of this thing. It's really unreasonable for her to fire more than 5 with any hope of ever succeeding. But she is going to do
85.
She is going to try 7 volleys through this.
Oh my god.
Because I rolled the die, that's what it said.
I only have 2 hit points left, Rob.
And I am
That
also
You
by
have
the door?
armor.
Is that-
There is
Or-
armor.
Okay.
Johnny, I'm assuming you have not quite made it to the door since she let herself in with the key and didn't have to take a minute to pick the
Well,
lock.
and I go
Yeah, I
before
mean,
Johnny.
probably not, but I mean, we're in a hallway, right?
No, actually, you have made it kind of to the fringes of the lobby,
Okay.
and she has stopped at a door. All right, first volley with my bonus die
It's okay. I'm right behind you, Katie.
is
Yeah,
a hit.
It goes through her and into you?
yeah.
It's a hit, but we don't know how armor works. Maybe you
I do.
viewers do.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll for some others because it's going to matter how much ammo is left in this gun.
Yeah, when Jack picks it up and shoots Joe in the face with it.
Yeah.
It's nice knowing you guys.
Those of us who live through this, if any, will probably be badasses.
I agree with that sentiment.
Johnny probably won't, because he is a coward.
So here's
And
the good
he is
news.
Yeah.
Next in line of fire.
It is only the first volley that hits you. And
Mhm.
because of where her skill is, only one of those bullets hits you. I don't mean to inspire too much hope. You're still probably
It's
fine.
just, I mean, it's a very small bullet.
Most likely
As
dying.
a-
Yeah,
As a regular human, I don't think only being shot with one bullet would still
Yeah.
be good news.
I'm going to
Yeah,
start prefacing.
25 minutes after you were nearly electrocuted
Oh, no.
to death.
I'm going to start prefacing a lot of things I say with that. As a regular human, I think
It's like
that
on,
ketchup on a
Dungeons and
hamburger is a
Daddies.
great idea.
It's like on Dungeons and Daddies when they're like, I shoot him with my human gun.
All right, well, the bad
Opposed
news
to their
is
dwarvish sword or whatever. It's
You
my
get door
human
armor.
gun.
you do get door armor, which has been somewhat compromised. So, this is no joke. Thompson submachine gun does a D10 plus 2. A door
Okay.
is 3 points of armor,
Uh-huh.
and I rolled a 2.
Oh, you have one left.
You have 1
5.
left.
Minus. Okay. Nice.
However,
Which
she just took damage while
when
she
you
has
have
a major wound.
wound.
Yeah,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
let's go
Fabled
look at
42,
this.
welcome. Always glad to have you, of course.
She does.
So what does it mean? Does she live? Is she bleeding out?
I'm
Do I
basically gonna-
have increased
I'm gonna
clotting
have my-
potential
my-
because I've been cooked?
That's it. That's it.
She's getting the hang of it.
No, actually, there's nothing new to do until she gets to 0. Yeah, nothing changes with just one hit, with
All
just
right.
1 point.
You have 1 hit point, Ellie. Best
It's
of luck.
slowly bleeding.
Hooray!
That's only one less than I had before.
Can she benefit from first aid twice in the same day?
She's
now
been
that-
wounded
well,
again.
She hasn't had first aid for the first set of wounds yet, because y'all
Okay.
didn't bother to do it. Y'all were under the impression that I'm the only person who can do that.
I wonder where
Look,
they would
I
have
was
gotten that
about
idea.
I was about to anti-first aid myself before this, so I wasn't thinking about bandaging anything.
That anti-first aiding myself. That is the most politically correct way of saying how your madness manifested itself that I've ever heard.
That's what TikTok is gonna start doing instead of like unaliving, or
Unaliving.
whatever. They're gonna
It's
start
anti-first aiding.
anti-first aiding.
It is Dr. Abernathy's turn.
All right. Well, so just a little dip into the rules. I can move 7 yards and do something. But I don't have a target. Did I just see Miss Walker get shot from up here on the rail?
I would say so. Yes.
Okay. So I can go 5 times my movement.
She screamed like an Ellie.
So I'm gonna go 5 times 7 is 30. I'm gonna move 35 yards towards her, and you tell me if that gets me to her.
It more than gets you to her. How much could you get with your standard movement? How many yards?
7.
yards.
So 21 feet. 21 feet wouldn't quite make it to her, but it wouldn't be missing it by much.
So if I go the 5 times movement, then my action is moved to the last thing in the round. So now I am standing here in the line of fire.
I will
I
make
am
you an
going to
offer.
move to her, and then I'm going to get her out of the way so I can take care of her. But right now, I assume she is standing in front of a bullseye.
I'll make you an offer. If you want to take
sure.
the shortcut down the stairs, you could probably make it to her with much less effort. It is
Is
just
the shortcut a jump, or can I like slide Cool Modi down the balcony, the banisters?
well, I was thinking
Pull an Ellie
leap
Clampett.
over the banister and fall 18 feet. But if you wanted to slide down the banister, I don't see a reason why you couldn't and make it there more easily. Let's.
Holding
You're
a
standing
rifle and a medical bag.
Well, I mean, as long as
banister's
you're,
split.
you know.
I'll sling the rifle over my shoulder again, so I no longer have a readied weapon, because
right.
otherwise I can't imagine doing this.
And did Travis have your medical bag last, or did you?
No, I had it.
Okay.
He has a fire extinguisher and a cleaver, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Let's
because you used
do-
morphine on the chef guy.
Yeah.
Is there a role you would be excited to use in this instance? I know you have a 20% jump just by being alive.
No, I mean I don't. Again, if I don't know how this isn't just a dex roll, which doesn't give you any check marks, but I'm
think
far
that'd
more
be
likely
all right.
to
There's probably if there
exceeded
was a
that.
skill
If-
that you were excited to use, I would let you.
Hey, if you can make it a dodge roll, then I'm all for it. But otherwise, I don't think I have much of a chance of success. I'm not a
Let's do it.
Physical
Y'all need
specimen.
all the help you can right now. Somehow it's a dodge roll that you
It's because
slide
I'm
down this banister.
serpentining.
Oh,
Serpentining
I'm
on the
unnecessarily-
direct banister.
The stray bullets from the volleys are flying
Can you
in that
also-
direction.
I'm
Can
laughing
you
so
also
much during my
moonwalk
dramatic
while you slide down
finale
the
here.
banister?
I'm dodging
the
the
banister and it hooks
ricochets.
back and just shoots you right over at Ellie.
Well, I really want to succeed at dodge because I've never even rolled it before, so I'm going to use my
Bonus die.
bonus.
There we go. Those are running out. I like it.
That is a 40 against my dodge of 66, which is a success.
All right. You make it down there handily. And I don't think this
Thank
is
you,
really
bonus die, by the way, because the other was a double aught.
a double aught. That is.
Yeah, it was
see,
100.
We have Existential Nerd to thank for that one.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
I know, like, half movements and things, and being that chintzy with it. You make it here within your movement with movement to spare.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't know how much time it takes to first aid. I'll look at the skill. I don't think it actually says, but it's not something. I can't imagine it's quick. So my idea is that I need to get her out of the line of fire, and then take care of her. I know she's still conscious. I'm like, you got to move, and if I've still got movement, I'll just like fireman carry her or whatever, and like get her out of here.
Ellie, if you are not resisting that, then I don't see a reason why he couldn't.
I have a
No, I
strength
have
of
not
50.
resisted.
I mean, I'm an average person.
Well, Ellie is a petite 1920s debutante, so I'm sure she is carryable.
The blood makes it easy for her to slide right up on my shoulder.
I was going to say the lack of blood makes her lighter.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking too.
That's just a whole pint on the floor there that
All right.
she's lost weight.
You move her 2 yards away from the door.
Okay, I just don't want. I want the bullets to now hit Johnny and not her.
Yep. That's a great
Okay.
plan. You're accomplishing
Solid.
that. Johnny, it's your turn.
I thought Kealy went before me. Did I just miss the Kealiness of it all?
Kealy got down there and is holding his guns and is ready for action.
Gotcha. And Ellie has already been dragged away then.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Do I know? I don't know. So Joe is in the lobby.
You
And
have
I'm
witnessed an
not.
exchange of bullets from the lobby to through a closed door into a space you have no familiarity with.
Okay. Shoot. Well, I can't pick up where Ellie left off on account of not having a gun. Ellie never lost consciousness, so hers is definitely still with her. Abernathy's is on his shoulder. So Johnny's probably just gonna do the brave thing and retreat.
Okay. Are you retreating running out of the hotel, or are you retreating running back into the hotel?
Just away from the door that it has bullets.
Okay. If you do not want to cross the door that has bullets, you are retreating back towards the stairwell and into the hallway behind the grand stairwell.
Well, maybe what I'll do then is just post up by the door. But I don't know how she got back there, do I? I still have a very poor concept of the layout. But I don't necessarily need one. But I like, if it's not like if she needs to exit this room, she's going to come through this door and I can stab her. Like she got back there from God knows where.
I would really love to tell you, but I frankly think Johnny doesn't know.
Okay. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to reason with her. If I'll just follow Abernathy then and try to help him with Ellie.
Okay. So
That's actually a good call.
like putting your hands up like they're gonna protect you and ducking,
Yep.
making yourself as small a target as you can. You cross the bullet door and make it deeper into the lobby, closer to the door where Abernathy has taken Ellie. And you are trying to help him as best you can.
Yeah. Maybe there's a bonus for me helping you or something. I don't know.
Alright. Ellie would normally have a 75 in initiative. Travis, for what it's worth, has put pedal to the metal, run down the stairs the correct way, and arrived at Dr. Abernathy's side. That's all he's done with his turn. And it is back to Ellie's turn. Ellie, as you are laying here bleeding, Abernathy, have you set her down, or do you still have her over your shoulder?
I guess it's up to you to say how much movement I had, but clear. I mean, she's conscious. I'm going to put her on her feet. I know she probably feels stupid being up on my shoulder, and I'm not going to leave her there. So
Okay.
as soon as she's clear of the bullet line of, worst angle, then I'll put her down.
Okay. Well, Ellie, for a moment, you're staring up at the ceiling as you were coming off of that. So your kind of head is flipped back as you were taken off of a shoulder. And you see the upstairs. Because again, there's a hole going through this hotel all the way up to the top, right? You can see all as high as the elevator goes, almost.
Yeah.
From the lobby of this. And you can see now that the 8th floor, bits of the 7th, bits of the 9th are on fire. And you see the flames licking around where they have eaten through bits of the ceiling, and little bits of timber have fallen down to the mezzanine in various places. And all the way up, floors and floors above you, you're watching as a bit of what must be the penthouse floor falls away. And you see this silhouette move into the hole. This humanoid shape. You can't make out any details from this distance, but something far above you is looking down, watching, as this transpires.
Oof. Oh.
That's exactly what she'd be saying right now with a bullet in her.
Yeah, yeah, okay. You said it's like humanoid in shape. It's too far away, I assume, to determine any other physical details.
Let's see. 40, 90. This is 130 feet away straight up through a smoldering hole. So, and not a terribly big one. So, yes, I would say that.
Oh, stripper name.
Smoldering holes?
That was the name of my band in high school.
It's not as good as
Smoldering
Bloodstains and Whiskey, but, you know.
I love that. I want to start that band.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, dang. Well, there's a lot happening right now in Ellie's life.
What's left of it?
Yeah, not much. And while I'm laying there looking into the sky, I feel like she would just be like, "Well, that might as well happen." That's right. That's about right. I'm gonna look at the doctor and just very matter of fact say, we are all going to die. And am I in a position where I can like still try again to shoot through that door? Or are we too far away?
From where you are specifically not in a position where you can shoot through
I
that door.
intentionally took you where the door did not have an angle on you. Yeah.
So
right.
I will try and again and set the scene for you guys, because I didn't know we were going to be in such a tactile or tactical situation. Yeah, tactile means something very different.
Yeah.
You are 6 to 8 feet away from that door, along the wall that has the front desk on it, and 50 feet away from you is the front door. Okay. And there is nothing between you and that front door except little bits of furniture. And Ellie hasn't been hanging out here long, but
a pool of Buck's blood.
And a pool of Buck's blood. And Johnny did not mention Johnny didn't mention a threat other than Joe and her machine gun, who you think you hit back there.
Yeah.
Who has no shot at the front door right now.
Yeah. Got it. Well, I'm going to direct Dr. Abernathy and his assistant, who I assume are right next to me. I'm going to point up into the creepy man in the sky above us.
Okay.
And speak. Officially, my opinion is that we need to get the fuck out of here. And the door is right there. And the machine gun is not over there anymore. We need to go. Also, I need to go to a hospital for like 3 hours now.
A
Desperately.
lot longer
3
than
months.
that. Yeah. I don't want to act out of turn, but let me know when I can evaluate what I am looking at.
As far as her physical condition?
No, her directing me to look at some
Ah.
shape above me.
You can be doing that as Ellie makes whatever remaining call she has for her turn.
I can't really think of anything else that I could do. I don't think it's a smart idea to fire a revolver straight up in the air. I'm not going to do that, despite my history of very unintelligent choices in this game.
You are
I'm
welcome.
going to not do that one.
You are welcome to move from this position at the very least.
Yeah, you have more movement than I do.
Okay, I just didn't want to move away from the guy who's trying to stop me from bleeding to death.
I believe it's GTFO is what they say.
It is
Yeah.
entirely up to you what Ellie does. I'm just saying you are not
Okay.
lacking for options.
Right. Well, I also feel bad because I don't want the doctor to get cursed and die horribly right in front of me. So
He did just touch you.
Yeah. So if he's still alive, maybe he still has time. I'm gonna go towards the doors.
Okay. Now, if you... Basically, you can dash in Call of Cthulhu. All you spend your turn doing is running.
Yeah.
You are more dexterous and therefore faster than Dr. Abernathy.
Mm-hmm.
How far can you move normally?
Look down by your weapons, and there's on the right, it says move, and it's got a number.
8.
8. Okay.
So that's in yards. A standard move for you on a turn is 8 yards.
8 yards. So it would take you sprinting to reach the front door.
But you can also go 5 times your move on your turn, but then you can't do any action until everybody else has gone.
So if all you want to do is make it to the front door, you succeed.
I just don't want to abandon everybody, and also I don't know if I want to step outside and it's gonna be like tentacles instead of a
I think
straight.
it's my turn next, right?
Well, I have really
Only
good news
one way
for
to
you.
find out, Katie.
You sprint to the door, and it's locked.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That tracks.
You don't.
What?
That would be short work for you. Keys or picks or gun would all solve this problem. It is a wooden framed, metal handrails, mostly glass door. But you've got nothing left when you get there.
Okay.
But everyone else
That's
turns and sees Ellie limp sprinting for the door and stop at the door. As it goes to Jack Kealy's turn.
Don't recall. So what I've seen, I ran down there, and then that was pretty much all I could do. And I saw the doctor move in, grab her, jump out of the way. Ellie got the hell up and ran to the door.
Yep. Johnny followed after the doctor. Travis followed after the doctor. You are not directly in front of, but in front of the door in question.
Right.
And
but I have to cross
to your
that.
left. No, you're actually, by coming down the stairs, you are closer. You are on the side of the front door of the bullet door.
So then basically Ellie just ran past me.
Yep, right in
So I'm
front
gonna
of you.
say like she's on it, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Screw this place.
All right.
I'm running towards the door. I'm right behind her. She gets there. It's locked. I'm assuming that maybe I have a little more movement just because she was messed up, and I will try to shoot the door itself.
So, here's my bargain for you then. You had a little farther to run because the doctor didn't take you part of the way. You are quick, but not quite as quick as Ellie. What's your speed?
Okay.
She's a speed
7.
of 8. You're a speed of 7.
Yeah.
You're a few feet behind her. You haven't quite made it to the door, but you don't keep running. You pause at the end of your run, and you are just going to put bullets in glass.
Yep.
I have no doubt Jack Kealy can do this. I am going to make you roll your firearm skill, but I'm going to give you a bonus die because
You're hitting the broadside of the
super easy.
barn.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be honest with you, thank you, but I got a 10.
Blam. All right, Ellie, you hear gunshots and you flinch
Blam
Which is
indeed.
for a second.
Like a major success. Like a 11 is my major
Your extreme?
success.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah,
Nice.
Ellie flinches in front of you for a second, and but is unharmed as glass shatters out onto a sidewalk. And Jack, you're a few feet away from freedom. But you ain't there.
I'm pushing Ellie through as soon as I can.
Got it.
I mean, jumping with her, of course, but 2 of us are out of here.
Yeah.
I'll set you up a still in
So
LA.
out of here.
Abernathy,
Yeah, right?
A speakeasy that'll be the best thing ever.
you look up and you squint and you see what Ellie was talking about. There is some silhouetted figure 11 floors above you, standing over a smoldering hole in the ceiling of this place.
Silhouetted.
Again, that's all I'm just
Like-
gonna look at it.
I mean,
Like
is
there
it
is
worth a
a
Cthulhu mythos, or is
if-
it worth a natural world roll?
if
Like to
Jesus
say
is
it's
back, we're
human,
all
or
fucked
it's the
anyway.
Cthulhu creature, or
it seems human in its shape.
I just
And it's
imagine he's
just
up there
back.
like T-posing, like
Imagine,
staring
imagine like
down.
there's a
Exactly.
ceiling mounted
Jesus
light
Christ,
above,
pose!
just casting light from behind this thing, and it's difficult to make out details.
do I have any
Holy
theories
Christ,
about
no.
whether the low gore would be human shaped, or is it something bizarre based on all the notes I've read and my little bit of Cthulhu mythos?
You have read nothing about it being human shaped or having the ability to take human shape.
Okay.
The
So-
only
so I don't
representation
think
that you
that's
have
the
seen,
monster.
the only representation of it you have seen has been the ancient Egypt bit of papyrus that you tore in half that had that ibis-headed fellow who you know to be Thoth. The humans, and then this reptilian thing being cast aside by the totem that you carry.
Right. All right. So I mean, just so everybody knows what I'm thinking, just following along here is I think I know how to banish the monster, and so if I thought I was looking at the monster, even at great distance, I don't know what my range is on that. I would have attempted it, but this doesn't sound like this is the monster. So,
You're telling me that something is suspended in midair, T-pose and Jesus Christ pose, and it's like maybe lowering, and you're just like going, yeah, all right, well that might not be the guy I'm looking for.
It is standing on a floor 11 floors above where you are standing, looking down through a hole in its floor at all of you 11 floors
Yeah.
below.
yeah, I didn't get the idea it was flying, right?
Now that would be great though.
Yeah, that would be awfully neat if it was. I tell Travis to get out of here.
Okay.
Where is Johnny right now?
Johnny is
Nearby.
right next to you. He was ready to help you with Ellie before she ran away.
Is he holding Johnny? Are you holding a gun?
No, I don't have.
No
a
one
gun.
let Johnny have a gun.
I've got 2 knives.
You brought a knife to a Logor fight.
Mm.
I never made it back to my room, so I'm working with what I got. The gun in my room is a prop gun, by the way.
I say, Johnny, Travis, you've got to get out of here. And I pull the rifle off my shoulder, and I aim it at whatever this shape is. And that's all I do.
Okay.
I say, I'm right behind you, but I'm the last down.
That is all Abernathy does. It is to Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't think Johnny needs too much convincing to go. I had briefly entertained a plan where he might try to make sure that all the bad people in the hotel definitely, went down with it. But no, leaving sounds good. If leaving is the more convenient option, that's the one that Johnny will take.
Johnny, as you think about turning to leave,
pretty high on Johnny's list, but
you turn towards the door. This entire place is this Art Deco red and gold carpet. And then there is this avenue down between all of the furniture leading between the grand stairwell and the front door. Buck's body is between the two of you, and his blood has flowed out onto this strip of raised carpet, painting it red. And for a moment, as you were looking at that red carpet, you see yourself standing on the red carpet, but not this one. You see yourself at the premiere. You're not wearing these blood-soaked, whiskey-smelling clothes that you were wearing here. No, you are dressed up in the finest tuxedo, a tuxedo that you've never worn at any time in your life. This is something new, something bespoke, something avant-garde, almost.
over here, Lawrence, over here.
Lena Lockwood is on your arm. You're going to her first movie that you were given the starring role in. The Yellow King. Up in lights in front of you. Starring Johnny Lawrence. A life that you could very easily imagine. You have been here before, and you could be here again. You just have to put this messy business behind you. You need to make it back out to LA. You need to connect again with Miss Lockwood, wherever she is. Just get out of this. And the main impediment that you see in making this happen, and you know this, a thought from outside of yourself, you know that if Dr. Abernathy stays here, that possibility can't come true. If whatever he's about to do, if he does it, that life doesn't happen for Johnny Lawrence. And you know this thought comes from outside of yourself, but you feel it. There's no doubt in your mind that that life could be Johnny Lawrence's life. And you do what you want with your turn.
Hey, Doc, this ain't no time to be a hero. It's like, hey, this whole place is coming down. It's like, look, anyone that's still here is either crazy or probably already dead. It's like, whoever that is, whoever that is up there, they've got 3 burning floors underneath them. He's like, it's done. It's settled. Come on, He's like, you're still alive. We're getting you out of here. And I grab him by the belt and his collar, and I just start pulling him back towards the door.
So this would be a combat maneuver if Dr. Abernathy wishes to resist.
I absolutely resist. I say, if you were armed, Johnny, I'd leave you here. But I'm the one. You've got to get out of here. And I jerk away from him.
Or hand him your rifle.
All right.
Actually, I just dodge out of the way.
All right. So, Johnny, I'm going to need you to roll your fighting brawl. And
Okay.
Dr. Abernathy, I'm going to need you to roll your dodge, please.
Yep.
I'll use my bonus die for this.
Bonus stuff. Yeah.
I don't have one. But you've got to beat
It's
me
getting
by
real.
a level of success to do
Let's
this. So.
see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Ellie got hers back.
Okay, it's just a regular success.
All right, so all I need is a regular success to be missed. You got me.
All right. Johnny, you grab
Rolled
him
a
by the
75 against my 66.
back of the belt and the back
I
of
rolled
the
a
collar.
60-something against my 75.
And you almost, hoist him like a backpack, but not quite. But you are dragging him towards the door.
Look, if you need someone to stay behind, let me do it. It's like, then I'll do it. But you got to get out of here, okay?
All right. Good job, Johnny.
It's like what's so important about staying behind?
Nothing. I just don't want anybody else hurt.
Yeah, me neither, Doc. Me neither. It's like, hey, I might not be a trained medical professional or anything, but I know how to get when the getting's good. I know how to get while the getting's good, Doc. And I'll just just drag him back with me. He can continue to cover our exit, but
I'm just trying my best to see what I'm looking at other than a silhouette. So that's and until I know it's not just the maid, I'm not going to pull the trigger anyway.
the small part of Johnny that wants to be that sees himself as a hero and always wanted to be a hero is getting drastically overridden by the sheer number of people he's watched die today.
After Johnny, it's Joe's turn.
Old 1 hit point Joe, we call her.
Old 1 hit point Joe.
Hey, don't be judging 1 hit point.
Hey, you zoned out already. You're good.
She is going to have to move and shoot this time. She makes it to the door of the hallway to the back rooms, opens the door, swings out with her Thompson machine gun, and shouts as a little bit of blood drips down from her mouth. "If he can't have you, no one will!" And she just burns the machine gun across the hotel lobby.
Awesome.
I don't know how we're positioned, but can I be interposed between the dock and the gun?
Bold.
Based on the way you were carrying, maybe so.
I'm gonna die a hero.
So, because she moved before she shot, she's worse at shooting. And she was not very good at shooting.
But she has a gun that makes up for lack of skill. That's the whole reason that gun was so popular.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she virtually has no chance of success if she fires more than one at each of you. So I'm going to fire one at each of you.
Okay.
And I'm going to go based on proximity to her, how this goes. So the furthest person from her is Ellie, so Ellie will get the last shot.
Okie dokie.
The first shot is the one without a minus, so who gets that one? Well, I guess they all have minuses since she moved.
Mm-hmm. And I am going to burn my bonus die. I need more D10s.
Yeah, burn it. Yeah, burn it.
Remember, you can dive for cover when you are being shot at. but it will use your next turn.
So I rolled
Rob's doing math.
two 100s on that last one. I rolled all zeros. The only person hit is Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Johnny, you're going to take 5 points of damage
Uh-oh.
as
Did
she
you have any hit points
just
left?
drags that bullet hose across you.
Oh my god, did you just die?
What's your max, Johnny?
My max is 9.
I knew him well.
Oh, so you just took more than half.
Yeah, I
knew
took more.
him so
I took
well.
more than half, but I am not quite 0.
So you're going to take a major wound, and I need you to roll your Constitution, please.
Ooh, that's not a good one.
Oh, wait. Should I have rolled my constitution when I got shot?
Nope,
No, we
you
checked
didn't.
that.
You didn't take
Oh,
enough.
okay. Okay. Oh, right, because it wasn't half. That's right.
Half of your max.
Got it.
Regular success.
Success. You
All-
do not
all it
fall
takes.
unconscious.
Wow, we've had a good run of important rolls tonight. Maybe for the first time ever.
Yeah, just not going straight for the front door has really worked out in y'all's benefit. Actually, Johnny critically failing and drawing her into the hallway was a little bit of a win in the long run. So she's standing out there in
All
full
according
view
to
now,
plan.
just holding it at her hip and like old-timey gangstering across the front hallway. That is all that she does. Next up.
Was that Travis? Or me?
Next up is Ellie. Well, sorry. Yeah, Travis is in there. Travis is obeying what Dr. Abernathy said. He is running for the door. He does not leave without Dr. Abernathy. He runs to the door right next to Ellie and stops. And he just looks over his shoulder and freezes.
Rob, you just got another frickin' bonus die.
Yes, give it to me. There needs to be a body
They
count
really
to
want a
this
TPK.
stream.
They really want a TPK.
Oh, yeah.
There's already a
You
body
do.
count. The first night with Jack Kealy.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that was the first night.
I missed
Was
my
it
opportunity to
first
do that. I will do it next time. It's Ellie's turn. Ellie, you are standing
Okay.
right in front of a doorway. There's a few metal bars of like a handrail, but otherwise, most of this door is glass, and that glass is a shattered network right now.
Okay.
Like, basically, the act of stepping through it will push enough glass out of your way to give you an exit. And I
Yeah,
would-
but don't get cut, for Christ's sake.
It's true.
Okay, but if one of those glass pieces like scrapes me, I'm going down.
Now that you are standing at the door,
Yeah.
this is the city of Chicago, and I know it's not downtown. It's not next to the airport.
Uh-huh.
It is quiet on the street.
Oh, good God, of course
Yeah,
it
we-
is.
There's something weird
It's
going
late
on.
at night. The street lamps are on. You look out, and there's this almost this spaghetti of cars in front of the hotel. There's a pileup all along the street as far as you can see right and left from the hotel doors. You don't hear the sound of people. You don't hear distant sirens.
Didn't everybody in the hotel besides us basically disappear too?
You haven't run into anyone besides
I mean-
the cook, Buck, Cassette,
Bauer.
Joe, Bauer.
Yeah, but you you told us last time that the cops didn't show up, the fire department didn't show up.
Seemingly no one reacted to a falling fire escape hitting an adjacent building. It's odd. And you know it's odd.
Weird.
It's probably not as deadly as a lady with a machine gun, though. Right? In a burning building that is not getting less on fire by the minute.
Ellie has had a shitty day.
Yeah. We had a long day. You said there's like a car pileup in front of the hotel. Can I see any people in the cars, or are they all just crashed together and empty?
Would you like to make a spot hidden roll?
Will that take my turn? My whole turn?
Yeah. I mean, you could move.
Okay, as long as I can still move. Yeah, let me roll spot hidden.
Go ahead.
Ooh, I don't think that's a pass. Hold on.
Remember, you still have luck.
No. That would be quite a bit of luck I would have to spend.
You also have a bonus die.
Oh yeah, can I use it after I've already done the roll?
We will say yes for tonight.
Okay. Let me try the bonus die, because that was rough.
It's
nope,
in
I just
poor
failed it even harder.
spirits. All right. So what I will say is there's the little loop, right? The little cut where in the road where you can pull up to the front door of the hotel. But beyond that is the pileup. And it's just far enough away. It's just outside of this ring of light from the street lamps for the hotel that you can't really make out a lot of details. And frankly, there's smoke and steam coming off from some of these cars, and it makes it difficult to be certain of details.
Okay, but none of the cars are moving?
Nope.
I assume? They're all stationary? Okay.
They're like,
and just so,
some of them are run into one another, stacked on top of one another.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are they actually like crashed together, or are they just like in traffic? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's not good. I still feel like outside is less dangerous than a hotel that is on fire and contains a crazy woman with a gun. I'm not gonna book it down the street or anything, but if I can very, very carefully step through the gap that is in this door now and just move to the other side to where the wall is in between me and Machine Gun Lady.
So
that's what I would like to do.
Put your gun through this broken glass and give it a quick rattle and widen a gap and put yourself through there carefully and quickly and exit the building.
You just won Cthulhu. Congratulations.
Actually, I don't know about that.
I
pile up now. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what?
No,
we're not done with Ellie, but
I
am going to concern myself only with the people still inside the hotel for a little while.
Okay. I still want to be right there.
Okay.
Just around the edge. Unless I get teleported.
Yeah, but my last turn ended with, I assumed I was just diving for the open glass and dragging her with me. So if she's already jumped out, then that's going to be what I'm doing.
And Jack, it is your turn. You were just a few steps behind Ellie as you put some bullets into the glass. If you want to also propel yourself through the hole that you and her created together, easiest thing in the world. And there goes Jack, straight through the broken glass of the Hotel Excelsior door. And you see, as you look around, would you like to make a spot hidden roll as well? Or listen, or any other information gathering perceptory skill?
Sure.
Pick your favorite, let me know.
Well, it's going to be spot hidden. Oh my god! Yes! It is, sorry, it's 2 away from the most were critical. So yeah, it's an 18 out of 16 would be the lowest.
What are the categories of success? There's normal.
There's normal,
Hard.
hard, extreme, and critical.
Extreme and critical.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Hard
I'm
is the one I couldn't
extreme.
think of.
I'm near extreme.
So, Jack, as you get yourself out here and take a look around, taking stock of your surroundings, a cautious man assessing threats, you do pick out there are people in these vehicles. In fact, there are people on the sidewalk. In the driver's seat, in the passenger seats, in the back seats of cabs. None of them are moving. Some of them are slumped over dashboards, laid back over seats, flat on their faces and backs on the sidewalk.
Oh shit! I go in for my old handkerchief in my inside pocket and try to cover my face.
You do that. Much like Ellie, Jack, standing on the sidewalk here, I'm not done with you yet, but I'm going to concern myself temporarily with the people still inside the hotel. After Jack is Everett.
Everett spins his rifle that was trained up in the air and being jostled by Johnny's undignified relocation of my person. Whatever minus you have to apply. Now I'm arguing for you to give me a minus because I can't think of why you'd give me a plus. But I spin the rifle around to machine gun Betty.
Machine Gun Kelly, yeah.
And
Well, you know,
I would love to have a round of aiming, which is what I was working on, but now I'm just going to take a shot at between her eyes.
Johnny is moving you, certainly.
unless
but-
I was to say drop him or something when I got shot.
That's
worth-
fair.
That's pretty fair.
You know, I'm not going to say you have released him entirely, but maybe the motion has ceased enough that Abernathy, you can line up a clean one before all is said and done. I'm not going to give you any penalty dice. Joe is standing very unwisely, wide in the open, with 1 hit point, with the machine gun leveled at now just you and Johnny, because
Yeah, that's why I'm shooting her.
there's only 2 people out here.
Ah!
All right. Well, I've never used this skill before. Here we go. I don't have a bonus die, so it's just a shot.
You got this.
A 17 against my 60,
Ah.
so that's a hard success.
Roll that beautiful damage.
Don't think I can do less than 1, but
I
just for
also
fun.
don't think you can do less than 1, but let's see what part of her you blow to smithereens.
She
Just the
takes
jaw left.
4, 5, 6, 7 points.
7 points.
Rolled.
Ooh,
That is only 1 above minimum from this rifle.
7 times more effective than withering
1 above
spells.
minimum?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man.
I could have done 16. That's why you don't stand in front of guns.
Yeah.
So
Ellie
that
and Johnny.
bullet goes through the bottom of her jaw. It takes a piece of chin and a lot of neck with it as it blows through.
Awesome.
And she doesn't really react. She can't. There's no ability to react, as she just passes out immediately and is dead before she hits the floor.
Oh, awesome. I was afraid she was like some kind of zombie golem. Okay.
Check back with me next
Yeah,
Cthulhu.
exactly. And I do the. The reason you can only shoot one at a time with a non-automatic rifle, it says, is because of the time it takes to put another one in the chamber. So I've got another one in there.
Excellent.
And then I say, "Fine, Johnny, let's go." But unfortunately, I can't move after I shoot. Technically, without taking a minus. So I I seem to have all the motion of someone who's about to leave, but I can't actually, by the rules, do anything.
After Abernathy's turn, before Johnny's turn, as Joe falls, all of you hear a sound. None of you have heard a sound quite like this before. To call it a scream would oversimplify things. It would also imply some configuration of vocal cords as you understand them. It would require a level of emotion, of rage or sadness, or some manner of empathetic extreme that really doesn't apply here. It doesn't sound barbaric or animalistic in the way that you think of a lion's roar. Nor does it sound unintelligent. Does it sound senseless, purposeless? As the sound warbles, undulates, reverberates through your ears.
Reverberates?
All of those things.
All of those things.
That too.
A shape begins to make itself clear at the top of the stairwell. Dr. Abernathy, right in your eye line, where you were looking at Joe. It hasn't quite finished arriving. Things like color and having light quite affected in the normal way haven't quite completed yet. But you have a sense of its size, of its shape. Part of it is quite close to you at the bottom of the stairwell, within 20 feet of you. If it were to have a head, this might be it. An assemblage of limbs, tendrils, pseudopods, something,
Tentacles,
are attaching
maybe?
themselves to the banisters of the stairwell, to the stairs themselves, and a long, winding body, buses long, winds its way up the stairwells, grasps onto the wall in the elevator shaft. That is where the sound is coming from. And it is fixed on you right now. Johnny, you were trying to drag the good doctor away. When this sound comes, I'm going to leave it to you. Do you look back?
Yeah.
Travis is looking back, waiting to see the doctor following after him. The two that are outside are exempt for the time being. I'm going to need sanity checks from the four of you. Or three of you, pardon. Joe's dead.
I was about to say, wait a second.
It's driving itself insane.
All right, let me get my little sanity sheet up because I am in all kinds of already sanity fucked range.
Wow. That is exactly on its side.
I do not have.
No idea what that result was. I'm gonna have to roll again.
Ought 5. I rolled a 5.
Wow,
Nice.
Mike. Holy crap.
Wow.
Mike, I can do you two better.
You rolled a 3?
Got a 3?
Yep.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, it
So
still could be
I
bad.
have good news and bad news.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is not a succeed for nothing sort of situation.
Yeah. That's the problem for me, not really for you.
No. Depends on what we roll, I guess.
Let's see. All right. So I realize I've done something wrong and something right here.
It's all right if the keeper does it.
Yep. By the book, something different might happen, but by the book also, something should have happened long ago. So succeeding both as you did, you will both lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay. Well, that's not bad for Johnny. It's pretty bad for me. So let's just run through how that affects me.
Johnny, what is your sanity at now?
It is now a 52.
Okay. And what is
Unless
your...
you happen to have lost your daily limit today.
That brings me to a total of 3 sanity lost.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think you're okay.
Today.
Whatever that little number is to the right of your current is what you don't want to lose before you rest.
Yeah, I'm good for now.
All right, so for me losing 1, I'm down to whatever number I'm down to. First off, both of us losing even 1, we have an involuntary reaction of puking or shooting or screaming or dropping what we're holding or whatever that you get to decide. So that's the least thing that happens. Then because I have underlying insanity, I immediately have a bout of madness. My character goes into your control for 1d10 rounds. And you can, when it's over, you can assign me a phobia or a mania if you would like. You can also amend my backstory if you would like. But for 1d10 rounds, I belong to you.
Amend the backstory sounds really cool. I don't know of any other game that does something like that.
That is interesting.
I have rolled my d10.
Just kidding. You did kill your wife. Ha.
I didn't roll a 10,
No,
but
I mean,
it
that could
was
be it.
something. So, Johnny, I genuinely can't think of anything more narratively satisfying than this. Johnny, you run. Dr. Abernathy, you run.
Mm.
You have selected opposite directions.
Oh, God, great.
Yeah.
Okay. I just assumed
I was
you
going to
meant
go
we
get
were
that
leaving.
Tommy gun and cover him, but oh well.
Boom!
Oh.
They knock each other out.
Yep.
Derp. Dunk.
Johnny, you sprint 5 times your normal speed in yards towards that front door. This is not the time to be a hero. You play one on TV. And you would like to live to do so again. As you reach the front door, Travis is there, who has much the same reaction, in spite of himself, to you, and also sprints for the door. Behind you, you hear Dr. Abernathy's voice shouting through his mustache.
So it's a little muffled.
Saying, "There you are, you invisible memory eater. I want some fucking answers." And you hear the report of another rifle shot from Dr. Abernathy.
Right into Johnny's.
You make it out the door. Jack Kealy makes it out the door. Ellie makes it out the door. Travis makes it out the door. I would like all of you Now, the three of you, and Mike, if you would roll for Travis,
Sure.
with a 40 for you, Mike, I would like everyone to roll their power right now.
Fail.
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 Power.
Fail.
So at the top, it's one of your primary stats.
Okay, I see it.
Success.
Holy shit.
The answer is 9, Holdren. 9 rounds that Dr. Abernathy is mine.
Well, that's the rest of his life.
I do not know what it means here, but I just rolled a 1.
A 1's
That's good.
a success.
That's the bestest. That's the
Oh,
bestest.
that's a critical
Critical
success.
success.
Yeah.
Actually, critical success on a power, isn't that the thing that we looked up before?
You get some.
No,
is it?
It's a if you get a 1 on luck, you get power. That's it.
There we go.
My bad. Sorry.
So, Jack Kealy, standing here outside the Hotel Excelsior, I'd like to tell you what you remember. You remember arriving at the Hotel Excelsior, being paid through the week, with understanding that you needed to meet Miss Lena Lockwood, but that was only a pretense, so that during that time, you could find Lorenzo Ricci, put an end to him and his troublemaking, before you came home. Travis Cole remembers several months of spending his time with Dr. Abernathy up on the 7th floor that was renovated. Before the tragedy struck. Jack Kealy tragedy would cut your stay at the Hotel Excelsior short. It makes the news, not just in the city of Chicago, but around the U.S. How a derelict hotel's poor maintenance regime emitted a gas leak. It seems, from the remnants of the fire, that they had some strange apparatus in their basement, and a far stranger one, whose purpose and origin was unknown, up in their penthouse, whose effects, combined with gas leaks, cost not only the lives of the people in the hotel, but for several blocks around the hotel. In a single evening, a quarter-mile radius around the Hotel Excelsior left no survivors. An incredible national tragedy. This led to delayed response times from local police force, firemen, first responders, as none were left alive to report the incident. It led to cars crashing in the streets, the loss of hundreds upon hundreds of lives. Including the lives of Josephine Templeton, Dr. Everett Abernathy, Anthony Buchanan, and other residents of the Hotel Excelsior. Travis and Jack, unfortunately, remember these incidents as they occurred, miraculous survivors of the event. Though at least for Travis's sake, he tried to avoid the media too personally affected by the tragedy to make any sort of a statement. Jack, how would you handle the attention?
Goodness. You know, it all happened so fast. I really couldn't even tell you what happened. I mean, honestly, it must have been smoke inhalation or something. I don't even know what I saw. I could have swore there were people there with me that I don't recall there being, and I don't know what happened. I just need time, please. Personal space during this time of grieving. I may have lost some friends in this whole thing here, so yeah.
It's a damn good thing you held that handkerchief up to your face when you did.
That was really smart, by the way.
The studio, Jack, gives you some paid leave. Surviving what you did. A few people have questions, but they're quick and quickly batted aside. The fewer questions in situations like this, the better, especially for a man in your line of work.
Why do I feel I'm about to take a vacation at a resort called Excelsior?
That'd be pretty trippy. That'd be pretty great.
Now, Johnny, Ellie, that's not what you remember at all.
This is the good part. This is what I'm waiting for.
You hear it on the radio, you read it in the papers, you hear it on the streets and in the cafes. Terrible. Did you hear what happened at the Excelsior? You managed to put the pieces together a little bit. There were no gas leaks that claimed the lives of all those around the building. For whatever reason, you were spared by a creature and its servants that easily claimed the lives of not just the other people in that hotel, not just the people that you called friends, not the people that you shared meals and drinks with, but that was capable of causing death on a much grander scale. But not the two of you. And though it seemed to take the wherewithal and the memories of Travis Cole and Jack Kealy from right beside you at that moment, you remember the events. You remember everything that happened that week in the hotel. Not only that, you see Mr. Goldman's obituary in the paper. The man who owned the hotel. The man who confined himself to the penthouse, ostensibly. You see the mangled remains of some peculiar apparatus make front page news on the paper and only wonder what it could have been, where it might have come from, and what it might have been doing before it was in this state. Also in the coming weeks, you see that a Mr. Locke Linwood has become the producer on a new movie to be produced in Hollywood that is receiving a lot of public attention. Doesn't take a genius to figure out who and what that might be. Johnny, after you walk through several city blocks of nothing but death and darkness, what does Johnny do?
That night or in general? In general, right?
Both.
when Johnny gets done with this whole ordeal, he tries to talk about what was happening with the crazy, maybe not, who's going to believe him about some sort of, tentacle space alien memory eating guys, but he did try to report to the police about Joe and about Terry and about all the shady stuff that was going on in there, except for Ellie's business, of course. But he was disturbed to find that Travis and Jack didn't seem to want to back him up on anything. As word gets out about the Excelsior tragedy in Chicago, Johnny, with much regret, begins to realize that his career is over. He is no longer Jean Laurent or Johnny Lawrence, star of stage and screen. Now he is the poor, pitiable survivor of that awful tragedy in Chicago. And he can't distance his name from all of that, from what happened. Whenever he goes, it just gets brought up again, and everyone looks upon him with pity, and everyone stirs up his memories, so clear in his mind, and seemingly only his and Ellie's mind, of what transpired that night. And so Johnny decides that he has to get out of the business and lay low. He doesn't go out on the street without a hat pulled way down over his head anymore. And when he's sitting in a diner having a cup of coffee and reads that Lynn Lockwood is coming out with this new picture, doubtless the Yellow King, the screenplay that they had heard of before, he begins to understand that there was another survivor of that night. Perhaps someone who knew what was going on, perhaps not, but Lena has survived, and Lena's found a way to carry on and, become a success. But whereas at one point in his life, his thought would be to piggyback on her success and use her as a, kind of to borrow her secrets and figure out if he can find his own way back in LA under a new name or a new face in a new position. No, now he's wondering what happened. He's wondering how she got out. He's wondering why he didn't see her the rest of that night. And he's wondering what she knows about what happened. And so he decides to maybe do a little detective work and buys his... I assume throughout this whole time, he's stuck with Ellie because she's the only person who knows what he knows and doesn't think that he's crazy for that reason.
They're the best pair to be left together, too. That's awesome.
But he sits back down in that diner 2 days later and slides her the article as he takes a sip of his cup of coffee and says, I already bought my bus ticket.
Bro, you're visiting me in the hospital.
Oh, no, this is a long time from now.
Okay, I was going to say, 2 days later, I'm in intensive care.
Two days later, after getting this paper and doing his, thinking and his his red shoestring on the wall or whatever,
Yeah. Okay.
So he's gonna get together with her, show her the article, and show her his bus ticket. I'm not gonna skip over everything that happened to Ellie and just jump into that scene, but he's got a little investigating of his own to do.
And somebody got some splaining to do.
Well, no relics of that night survived in his possession, right? Outside of the knife, which is just a knife, and he knows it's just a knife. The book was with Abernathy, the pages. There's just there's nothing that he has on him to validate anything that he remembers other than the clear and present memories he has himself.
And Ellie, clearly a hospital is on your to-do list.
Yeah. I mean, that's the first place I'm going immediately.
Ooh, I guess I shouldn't even assume that you recover. Do you recover?
You make it to the hospital. No insurance, Not a lot of money to your name. Most of what you owned was consumed by the devastating Excelsior fire. Nevertheless, you make it there and you are in need of immediate care.
I mean, I was shot.
You were shot.
And shocked, and you were also under the impression that your presence made other people die, so I suspect they had to do a little psychological treatment on you too.
Yeah.
She came out of the Excelsior fire and she believes she was shot.
Give me
She
shock
and Johnny
therapy.
both, for some reason, think that someone shot them in a fire.
The police
Mm.
do have questions. Detective Drucker comes by and
Oh.
asks you a few things. Very sympathetic to your situation. What kind of story do you tell him?
For the sake of not getting myself committed to a mental asylum, by the time that he comes by, I assume I've had a chance to kind of read up on what the media is saying about what happened. You know, the fire and the people dying because of the gas leaks and stuff. If I had a chance before he shows up.
You're aware of the story,
I'd
if
keep you
not
up to
fully
date.
informed.
Sure, I'd keep you up to date.
Okay, I will give very vague answers, being like, I think this happened. I don't know. I was just trying to get out with my life, and I inhaled a lot of smoke. And if he stays too long and pushes too hard, I will tell him I am too sick to continue answering questions.
That's fine. Drucker, if you'll remember, was a nosy cop who sometimes asked too few questions, as Jack Kealy will remember. Perhaps out of some sense of letting well enough alone, or perhaps for other reasons. Regardless, Drucker seemed satisfied with your answers, and you were allowed to recover in peace, only with visits from Johnny on occasion.
Your bestie.
Unlikely
What are you talking
friends.
about? We've always been tight, haven't we? We've always been great.
It's like-
Ever since we first met each
Yeah.
other, there's been nothing but goodwill between the two of us.
Yep.
I can tell I have a sense about people.
Jack,
Yeah, absolutely true.
as far as Jack is concerned, there's a happy ending. You survive this terrible accident, this
Send
ordeal.
everything to the laundry.
Your work continues. The studio appreciates the work that you did, especially considering these extenuating circumstances. Your pay increases, your lifestyle takes an upgrade. You're not asked to do such unpleasant work anymore. Instead, you were given sort of a cush job as Lena Lockwood begins working exclusively for their studio and needs a security detail with lots of benefits, some from Miss Lockwood herself.
Indeed.
Giggity.
Rawr.
Giggity.
Johnny.
You get a gate.
Mm-hmm.
You do wind up getting
Oh my.
a couple of letters in the mail. It seems that a Hollywood studio and one Loch Linwood has discovered where you are staying and extends to you an invitation to join him in the making of his next motion picture. In the mailbox the same day comes a letter from one Alvin Barlow. A professor currently keeping residence at Arkham University while he's in the States. Wishing to speak with you and get further details on your time in Chicago earlier that year. The wording of the letter artfully implies an awareness of what you might actually have gone through. Ellie.
If there's one thing that I don't want to talk about, it's all that business. But if he's saying that he might know without me having to say anything, that's an appealing prospect.
Ellie. Around the same time, your stay in the hospital is beginning to finish. And you receive a card and a bouquet of flowers, wishing you to, by the front of the card, get well soon. And a similar message is stitched across a heart that a small white teddy bear is holding. Inside the card is attached a little card, a business card, for one Henry Armitage, a librarian at a university just outside of Boston. And attached, included beneath the name, almost as a postscript, are the words, "I know." And then an address. An address in Massachusetts that you've never been to before. Everett.
Yes.
Months earlier, in the lobby of that hotel, you strongly wanted answers. You couldn't live without answers. This thing, whether it would tell you willingly or show you by its mere existence, was going to give you answers. And if you couldn't live not knowing them, and if you died in pursuit of them, that would be all right. You didn't really have a reason to live after Joe died anyway. Not the Joe that managed the front desk of the Hotel Excelsior. No, your Joe. But you didn't die. Nor did you get answers. You fired a shot, almost in panic, from that rifle, not thinking, at it as it began to coalesce in front of you. Remembering, as its grotesque hideousness finally realized itself, manifested, fully traveled into this dimension before you, that you had a set of magic words. You had a magic totem with you. Producing that totem. Saying those words. You managed to pull yourself together in time to send this thing. Not sure where. But away. If it
That was definitely my intention.
It didn't have the answers you sought. You probably wouldn't survive finding it out. Your mind oscillated between moments of rationality and pure madness, trying to find answers, trying to make sense of a crazy situation, and you settle yourself that if this thing couldn't help, perhaps whatever it was in the penthouse could. Your mind comes back to you for a moment as you are ascending an elevator in a burning hotel, going all the way to the penthouse by means of an open access panel left in the elevator. Your thoughts are disjointed. A once incredible mind, now in fragments. But before you reach the top, you cannot dissuade yourself from this course of action, but what's going through your head?
I mean, I suspect with a touch of madness and the prolonged guilt that he's felt since his wife died, he's probably generated some sort of white knight complex that this aunt came to him for a reason and this information came to him for a reason, and it wasn't just coincidence that he speaks Latin and could find all of this, and that all these minor players around him were really just there to feed him this information so that he could ascend this burning building and finally learn the truth of what lies beyond. And to your point, I mean, even sane-ish, even without this bout of madness, I think I agree that he would be willing to die to know the truth. But he's going in there armed with an ankh and a rifle. I mean, he's not stupid still.
Other brutes go on.
A big onkin rifle.
That's right.
The spell you cast took that abomination from before you. It wailed once again as it vanished into some imperceptible dimension, or perhaps some unknowable corner of this one. But a peculiar sight awaits you at the top floor of the elevator as well, in the penthouse. The flames have now reached this room. There is an ever-widening hole in the center of a lavishly appointed, enormous suite, the size of the entire hotel, not just its extremities.
Huge tracts of land.
There's a wheelchair, almost situated as though it was facing the elevator, expecting you. And in that wheelchair is set what is left of a man, if it can still be called that. The visage was probably once like that of Richard Goldman, the enormous portrait visible in the lobby of the Hotel Excelsior, still dressed finely, but wasted away. There's an IV attached to him, as though keeping him alive. This body does not move, does not blink. You were reminded of the words of the chef downstairs as you watch his chest gently rise and fall very shallowly. That he is alive, but there is no life in him. Behind him is some contraption, some apparatus. It is made out of purple and blue and yellow metals that twist upon one another in ways that make it difficult to look at. But you do know that it is radiant. There's something within that gives off an eerie light you feel pass through you rather than reflect off of you. But between you and this contraption, and between you and the remains of Richard Goldman, is Richard Goldman, standing in the prime of his youth, and exactly as he is dressed in the portrait downstairs. And upon his lapel, as pictured, he says to you, "You know, Dr. Abernathy, I was wondering who I would have the pleasure of speaking with. I see it is you, and I am not disappointed. Tell me, what do you think of my hotel?"
I say, the food service leaves a lot to be desired.
A genuine complaint. As expected of you. You know, I have to thank you. You and your companions, the other rabble-rousers downstairs, really have cleared the way for what's to come. That Loigor was quite the inconvenience. Really did a number on Richard here. I was happy to help in my own small way. You show quite an aptitude for this line of work, Doctor. As he speaks, his appearance changes. The square jaw softens. The dark hair lengthens. The fit waist slims to the form of Francis Boyle. And she says, "I really am delighted by your progress. You seem to want to know more.
Certainly.
There are
I thought-
answers, you know." Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm learning just from this conversation. I assumed the Loigor was your pet or your assistant, not your impediment.
Oh, Richard called him long ago. Didn't really know what he was doing. Built this entire place to supply it with a steady source of thoughts, dreams, memories.
To prolong his own life?
Whatever Richard's goals were in the beginning, they didn't serve him in the end. He beckoned forth something whose aims were beyond his understanding and whose capabilities he could not have predicted.
So you supplanted him? Because they are not beyond your capabilities?
It came to my attention but a few days ago. It became necessary to those whom I served that this creature be dealt with. I found a way to make it happen, and I pinned my hopes on a few people here. A few humans. Lively bunch you all are.
I can't keep myself from taking like 3 steps backwards when she says that. Even though I just watched her shapeshift, admitting that she's not human freaks me out.
I can tell you're alarmed. That's understandable, but rest assured, at least to you, Doctor, I am a friend and ally, if you would have me. My people are more ancient than your race. We remember your arrival, and we plan to outlive you all. Nevertheless, there is a place for those wise enough, for those smart enough, to leave behind human constraints of understanding. There is a place in the coming world for a man like Dr. Everett Abernathy.
I accept. I mean, seriously, that she doesn't finish the sentence. I accept. I don't know what her goals are. I don't know if she's going to burn the planet to the ground. I don't know if this is the end times. I accept.
She takes 3 sashaying steps towards you and places her hand on your face, and you feel something. So you are not alone in your own brain for a moment before her face changes yet again, taking on a visage familiar in the course of this campaign only to you, to a face that you have loved for years and missed desperately this one.
Awesome.
Too bad you killed her.
I did not kill her.
Then you need to come with me, darling, to the new life that awaits you down below.
Like, the rifle kind of slides off my shoulder, and I reach out and take her hand.
A body that is identified as Dr. Abernathy is found amongst the wreckage. Travis Cole personally attests that his former friend and employer perished in the Excelsior fire. But the good doctor yet lives, somewhere beneath the notice of those on the surface, learning things that fragile minds could not endure. And that is going to be where we leave Hotel Excelsior.
Excellent, man. That was great.
Before we go on to whatever awaits us next with whoever survives and whoever decides to bring a character back. And we may be back with entirely different people. We'll probably take a week or so, maybe more off. Pay attention in the Discord to find out when we'll be coming back as we transition to a slightly different system and continue to tell creepy-ass stories. I did not expect all of you to...
That was great.
That
was a good story.
Yeah,
Very
I thought it was going
done,
down
you
like
guys.
every second of that.
I thought Ellie was so dead.
Better to have
Door
died
armor.
No, that's the way it goes a lot, though.
Better to have died than to have lived without the Tommy gun.
Tommy gun is exactly the kind of thing that comes complimentary with the price of admission to Pulp Cthulhu.
Yeah. It's nothing. I mean, you can have lightning guns in Pulp Cthulhu, so you can be the
I'm sorry,
Rocketeer.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have a lightning gun because I got electrocuted.
That would be great.
We'll hang out a little bit after the stream, and we'll all chat as players and streaming partners. Thank you to everyone who has watched us tell this story. It was a lot of fun to run. Thank yous to, first of all, Erik, Braa, for joining us, for bringing Jack Kealy to life, for doing some excellent voice work, for making us all smile, giving us good jokes, and, ooh, pardon me, somewhere between alcohol and emotion there. We always love having you on the channel, man. You've been a delight. Thank you so much for coming and being with us as we've gone through this, was it 9 or 10 episode adventure in a system you'd never played before. Went out on a limb for us. Oh, you are muted, by the way, before you say anything.
Yeah, I'd never played before. And, oh, by the way, I was trying to show this off earlier, and you were in the middle of stuff, but
you got the shirt.
It just arrived while during break, and I missed it, and then I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, crap, that's why I ran
excellent.
away.
I saw you flashing it up there. I guess I didn't realize that it had just arrived today. I thought you were just being very nice and showing our logo, but I'm glad you got the shirt.
It arrived this evening, literally while we were playing.
That is superb. Those are for sale on the Misty Mountain Gaming website now, and if people order them, I will be personally shipping them out because I'm the only one here. But
I think there are hoodies too that look awesome.
I can't think. Well, there are too. There are hoodies as well. Can't thank you enough, Rob. You welcomed me in right away when we made the connection, and it's been awesome getting to do the Rhyme Fang stuff with you. And then now this. I think there was something else too. Oh yeah, the dangerous game, which you get. Okay, I actually got to run that one myself recently, which I'm a beginner DM, and I kind of made some mistakes, but then I actually put a couple of wrinkles in it that I'll tell you about later. But yeah,
I would love that.
It was really fun, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. Thank you so much. Thank you to Katie. Thank you to Diggy. Mike, I appreciate you, man, and Steven, obviously, and then Rob. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you so much, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. And I mean, you're right. I don't know. We'll take a week or two and figure out what happens. And maybe we'll see more of Jack Kealy at some point. I don't want to let go of that character. He's too awesome.
He's awesome. Yeah. He's practically a Pulp Cthulhu character playing regular Cthulhu with, as well as you rolled on some of those stats at the start.
It was the best I've rolled ever. It was amazing.
Thank you also to Ellie Walker, to Katie, who has come along and joined us streaming here for the first time, who also is playing Cthulhu for the first time. I believe we determined who has invested in apparel and necklaces and earrings over the course of the stream, who has donated art to our Hype Train giveaway the other week. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to have you involved in the streaming part of this and that we're getting to play again. Katie and I have played D&D together probably over the years more often than anybody here. And I'm glad I get to share you with everybody, and thank you for making yourself available for all of this.
Heck yeah, I'm having a great time. I would really thought that this character was done for many times. There was some lucky dice rolls that happened today. But yeah, it's been really fun. Super fun.
Thank you also to Steve, who has been cracking me up all campaign as Mr. Jean Laurent. Came at me swinging in the first episode, kept me laughing the whole time. portraying well the butt of many jokes, playing our Johnny Bravo stand-in in the game here, the guy who accidentally, sadly, could not do very much right. But you succeeded where it counted. You survived the encounter. You kept other people alive. I know we've been saying at the start of these things that we haven't recorded a bunch of the podcast lately, but I'm glad that we get to have this do together, that we get to do this every week, because I'd rather get to play games with you than talk about playing games with you, man.
That's fair.
Also, thank you to Steve's family for sharing him with us every week.
Definitely.
If they ever see this, then they can get the thank you. That'll be their reward. Yeah, always happy to be here. Sorry that I was very low energy tonight as I was fighting off the sickness.
Oh, it is okay. Again, someone who's had strep more often than you in life. I'm so surprised. It's the first time you've ever had to deal with it. An enormous thank you
to Mike.
To Mike, who has saved me from having to learn Call of Cthulhu this entire time, who has assisted in the game mastering, who has played probably the only more typical investigator out of everybody, coming in with knowledge and some experience, having run the game before, and basically making all this happen for us. Man, I really appreciate you. It's nice to be able to run for you, and I miss you running for me, but more so I miss having an excuse to hang out with you and be able to get to do this kind of stuff, and I'm glad that you are along as I'm trying to learn a new system and get you involved in a new world. And thank you for taking the bullet and kind of going crazy for me at the end.
Well, I mean that's part of the game, but I thought you told a great story. Is very much on point in the Cthulhu sort of way. I had no idea how you were going to end it, and you ended it in such a appropriate Cthulhu kind of way, but in a way I didn't see coming. So it's perfect having somebody kind of disappear mysteriously and somebody survive that shouldn't, and somebody who doesn't remember what happened, and somebody who nobody believes what happened. I mean, that's perfect. And I know some of that came out of some dice rolls, but it couldn't have been better. And I mean, specifically for Steve and Katie, part of the fun of Cthulhu, even though you'll almost never survive, is if you do, you enjoy your character in the next scenario so much more when you've got the history of the last scenario. You know, that to me is the core of what's fun about this particular game, is if you somehow eke it out to the next adventure, because months pass in between or whatever. I just feel like your character is so much more interesting and rich than it is in other games, because of sort of the trials and tribulations that somehow you made it through. So thought you handled it incredibly well. Super enjoyable. And obviously I love getting to hang out with my nephews and my new friends once a week. Look forward to this as much as anything I do these days.
IROC says that this was the best non-Chaosium COC stream he's seen in
crap.
years.
Wow. That's high praise.
Dang, yeah, I'll heckin' take that. Chaosium has come out with some good ones lately. Yeah, that is very flattering. I don't really even know how to process that praise. But I think it is due mostly to my players for sure. To everyone, by the way, who has watched this stream, who has supported this stream, to TL Holdren, who gave out 2 more community subs as we were wrapping things up. What is that, 99 for you, brother? What the Holdren is a absolute...
No, he's at 100.
Is it 100?
It's at 100, yep.
I don't mean to short you, brother. It is 100. Holy crap, Holdren, triple digits while you've been here. That is... What a absolute unit! Thank you so much for showing the support all the way along this stream and other streams, Holdren. You being here means the world to us. Also to Cast Iron Gage, who followed us just as we were ending things. Holdren and Mythical Mania. James was here tonight, by the way, if you didn't notice already. My alarm keeps going off to tell me to do things. Sorry about that. Appreciate everyone being here, watching along, supporting. Especially if you were watching live and being a participant with us and enjoying this action as it happened. And if you are watching the YouTube later on and you've made it this far in the story, please like and subscribe. Subscribing especially because the story's not over. We're still going to be playing more games, and there are other wonderful dungeon masters, keepers, marshals, game masters here on the channel who are creating content that I'm sure you will like just as much. Don't forget that we will be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. If you bought any tickets for our giveaway, we'll be drawing the winners probably around 1 Central Standard Time, which is when we plan to be wrapping up that stream. That'll be Deadlands content, another non-D&D tabletop role-playing game that I'm trying to learn simultaneously with all of this. Sophie RPG, formerly Oh My Sophie, and a couple of her friends will be along with me as we play that game. And I really hope to see some of you guys there, even some of you guys who I know can tune in from work and were sadly interrupted by Twitch the last time.
I'll be there. 10 a.m. Central.
That's it. That's when we'll kick things off. To my wonderful players, is there anything you would like to shout out? Is there anything that you guys are getting up to this week? Or is there any place that people can find you that is worth mentioning to people who just can't get enough of you through this stream alone? Let's go Erik first.
Tomorrow night I'll be streaming on my channel, 6 p.m. Pacific. It'll be me and most likely me and the Snoo. We will be hanging out, having a beverage and chilling and chatting with all of you, whoever wants to come in and hang out. It is, honestly, come in and give us something to talk about. Otherwise, we end up picking stuff out of the news, and I'm terrible. The Snoo's great, but I'm terrible. So, yeah, come by and hang out.
I love tuning into both of you guys. We've had a family thing on Tuesday nights that has prevented me from tuning into you guys for a little while, but if you are free, please go hang out with them. It is worth your time. And a link to Erik's channel is in the chat right now. Also, hi Snoo. I hope you get your shirt soon too. I put it in the mail the same day as Erik's. Maybe you have it already. Maybe you're getting it soon. Ellie, Katie, where can people find you? What do you do on the internet besides this?
I mean, I do, well, right now I just play Baldur's Gate 3.
Hell yeah.
But in my free time, when that is not consuming my soul in my life, I do art of D&D characters, fantasy creatures, fantasy settings and scenarios. And you can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet that you can find people. Facebook page is Katie's Art Emporium, or I'm Silverpen on Discord, and you can reach out whenever you want to. But yeah, that's my little side hustle. I also feel like it's very important to call out a big thank you to Rob. I think I can speak from all of us that saying that Rob's creative vision as a DM is unprecedented and unmatched pretty much anywhere you could possibly go. Look at someone who can give our characters not only opportunities to constantly die that we narrowly escape, but opportunities to turn from normal, ordinary people stuck in a hotel to potential heroes in the future. Can't buy that kind of backstory anywhere in a store. So, big shout out to Rob for running a really amazing game of a system that he was not familiar with and did really well.
You're here.
I thank you for that. I'd like to think that it is that my game mastering talents is unmatched because many people surpass it, but nobody matches it. He says, deflecting. But thank you, Katie. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Steve, we'll go to you.
I am going to sink back into the guise of a family man after this, but if you should ever want to reach out to me, I suppose you could do so any way that you would otherwise contact Misty Mountain Gaming, because starting next week, I will be the guy who is answering the customer service emails and things like that. Or I believe I'm still a little squiffy on my exact job description, but yeah, I will be around and near the channel and in the chats and apparently starting next week in the warehouse.
If anything that you order from Misty Mountain Gaming will probably pass through Steve's hands starting very soon. He can, if you can actually make special requests when you check out. I didn't know that until I started doing this kind of thing. So if you need Steve to personally kiss your dice before he puts them in the mail, that is a thing that he can honor. If he needs to write you a special note, he can do that.
I can spray them with like my scent
I
That
didn't.
is
before I
totally-
ship them off.
Wow.
I
That I'll pay extra to not have any of those things.
I will
Sweet.
accept extra to not do that. I will.
There is.
Gladly.
Speaking of accepting extra, I had no idea about this until I started doing this, and I've bought dice from us online, and I've never seen the option. Apparently, there are tips for just ordering stuff from the website. If you tip on the website, it will start going to Steve starting next week.
I don't know why you. I don't know why
I don't
you
know.
would do that.
I don't know why anyone does, but they've been doing it.
But
We got
I guess if
crazy
you do it,
tips at GaryCon.
Yeah, at
easier than
conventions,
setting
it's
up a
different animal.
Patreon.
Let's close out with Mike, DM Diggy Squirrel. Where else can they find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Probably the best place to find me will be on these streams if they continue, but I do have a YouTube channel that I use mostly to pass information to players of my Pathfinder game. The address there on the screen, you can find me there if you want to look along. I was inspired by Rob and the Existential Nerd the other night playing Divinity, Original Sin 2, which I never finished. And I'm now in the process of finishing. As I watched them fail at the final boss fight, like 20 times in a row, I was like, I'm going to make a video where I do this on the first try. So I will let you know when that is posted.
And with the quick save feature, there's no one who can
God.
say that it's not the
Well,
first
I
try.
have made
Why
I'm
do
playing Lone Wolf for anybody that knows the game, and I've made the two gimpiest characters. Like, I do so much freaking damage. So anyway, it's going to be fun.
If I played what I'm used to playing, I'm sure I would have done better. But goodness, why do I feel so attacked here at the very end
You
of the
guys,
stream?
you
This
look
is a
like
great
you
note
wanted
to
to
end
drink
on.
poison
I mean,
when
most
y'all were
people have been
starting like the
complimenting
5th
you.
time.
You're a great DM. You're just a crappy.
Yeah, you're
Then we
terrible
make it
at
to
that
the
game
end,
you
and
love.
Erik has to finish it himself, while I just am a non-participant because I didn't kill my arch nemesis, and was basically put in timeout for the last 45 minutes of that stream. If you want to see me unhappy, and thank you, big thanks to Erik, the other Erik, who did that stream with me, and put in almost 30, maybe even 33-hour sessions playing through that game, and tolerated me just wanting to rip my beard out. Like, no ill feelings, but I was so unhappy not getting to play. All right, guys. Once again, reminders, we'll be back live next at 10:30 Central Standard Time. Come hang out with us for me DMing another game. It will be a Wild West game. It's basically Wild West Cthulhu. What's not to like? And we will be doing two giveaways at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I hope that's what I said. Thank you, Dabs, coming in at the last minute for your 19th month of subscribing. Appreciate you, buddy. You are an absolute maniac. Thank you again for always supporting the stream. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow. Sophie, coming over from Sophie's community, Mr. Dabs is. And Sophie will be on the channel with us here tomorrow at 10. And thank you to iRock for being so active in the chat and coming in, hanging out. So I can't jump from one game mechanic to another, either Rob. Yeah, it's either Rob. I'm thinking either Rob because there's two Robs on the channel. Yeah, it'll be fun. Watch me call Notice, Spot Hidden, and Perception a lot. All right, that's going to do it for the stream tonight. Thank you to my players for hanging out a little bit later than usual. In case you do not hear it anywhere else this week, and I sincerely hope that you do, please remember and always know that around here, we love you guys. And we mean that. And we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.